property.
A little bit, yeah.
Right. But you have to compensate the person for the property. Like if they want to build a road,
It's being great for the most
you
part.
know, like if the government wants to build a road, they can expropriate, take your property away, but they have to give you, you know, fair money value for what it's worth. But yeah, they can do
Hey,
that. That's
just started the live feed. We got a bunch of different ones now. It seems like everybody's kind of got to where they want it to be.
let's hear what our good friend on the bottom, Soup Mama, has to say.
So what we're gonna do is
This is wonderful. You guys sharing in
we're
our
gonna
footage. Get
we're gonna set it up so that we can hear everybody. But this Tommy Temper, he's out west, but he's got everything down pat here. So we're gonna try to get him on there, and I chatted with him for a second. So we're just waiting for a couple other live streams to come up. But Tommy did bring up where they are and how close they are to the border. So what we're gonna do is switch over to two for a second, and then let you zoom in here so you can see that's the Rio Grande right there, the yellow line. That's where the water's running through. So we're hopefully get that set up so that you can see where they are. So they're at that little farm there up at the top. So you can get an idea where they're located and stuff. But that's pretty much it there right now. And then we'll go back to where am I going to go right now? I'm trying to think. We're going to go over to 4, I think, here. That's what Tommy Temper. This guy definitely knows where he's at. Like he can see everything here. So we're going to pop over to him. I'm just going to pop on here for a second, though, and then pop on and then scoot over here. So we're going to watch it for most of the day. It seems like everybody's gotten to their destinations. I haven't seen anything about Eagle Pass yet. I don't know if that's their plan today to go to Eagle Pass. But this Tommy Temper guy, he's awesome. He's got everything. He's watching what's happening and what's being said and everything. So we're going to watch him for a bit. So we're going to switch over to him and get him all ready to go here. All right, I'm sending it over now.
Single person,
up.
but I appreciate that. Subs are coming in a mile a minute. Hey, don't forget to sub to the channel.
The border is actually 1,500 feet from the ranch property line. So you guys are aware, we are literally at the border of Mexico. We are not Eagle Pass, but we are at the border of Mexico. Ron Clark is not on YouTube. They took down his YouTube channel. You can only watch Ron on Facebook and Rumble, I believe. I'm not
Well, you should
sure
start a YouTube channel. What? They took down his Facebook, Ron Clark.
On Facebook.
Oh no, I wonder what he said.
They had a lot of
they take you down for misinformation.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, we're just trying to see where everybody's at here. Trying to figure out my super source so we can both see.
Like, share, subscribe, guys.
But he's Canadian.
When we get to the super source, I can pick the map.
Canada, Finland, Ireland,
okay, super source, sources. We're gonna go 2 today and 4. And then put the super source in here. Put this up here. Shoot that over there. Should be able to hear everything still.
This is just absolutely
there you go. Hopefully that's a better image. So the map gives you an idea where they're located. If I could go over the map here for a second. He's got everybody there right now is located.
This feed is not at this location. This feed is in San Diego. Top left, DOA.
Right?
Defender events.
Is it okay for them to consider us a criminal if we're trying to stop criminal activity from happening? Right? So
okay.
Top left is San Diego. Everything else is Texas.
And I did it last year, and this year I went, there was more people, which was interesting. And then
thanks a lot to Defender Events for that feed. Can we drop a link to Defender Events?
Sitting up there, and I went. And if we didn't go about 2 feet further than we went, we wouldn't have seen the jackpot of illegals getting transported. And they were using a school, an elementary school, the Central Elementary School. It's an SDUSD school district school. And when I go on the property, they're following these men that are military age who could potentially get into the military. military because, right, if we don't have our own that want to
Bird on the wire. We've got speeches relating to border security. This is the border protests, convoys, that sort of thing. We're listening to the one happening in San Diego. We also have
how is it that
Texas
we can see them
on
going
the
across
right.
into this gate? Ask what's happening because it's our money that is being spent doing it, and they want to call the police because it's illegal, right? How can I go to a board meeting at the city of the county of San Diego and redress my own government, which is a First Amendment
I
right,
had Master
and be
Grifter up there,
arrested
but he
and also
went,
assaulted by an officer,
he went dead.
right? Because it's illegal to do that.
So I took him off the
But
screen.
then we can allow these people to
He might
come
be back
across.
up
Over
again.
80,000 have come into San Diego. It's way more than that. We spend $5 million a year.
Okay,
for
so
their
there's the
criminal
link right
defense.
there. Troy
So they
put it
can
up.
commit
DOA is
crimes,
the one we're watching, top left,
right?
San Diego.
And we're paying for it. So when are we going to say enough is enough?
Thanks for that, Troy. Big ups.
Right? I've been waiting for this day. I have, since the start of COVID, I've been waiting for people to gather
So far, we
together
haven't
and
heard
be in
from
the streets and say no
Travel
more.
Fund 69.
Right? Because
Christy,
otherwise
I don't know
we're
where he
just
is.
acquiescing
Probably
and we're
sleeping,
just
getting his
complacent and
rest.
we're allowing this to happen.
Because
We're
the big,
no better
the
than
big
the ones
stream
doing
isn't
it.
starting.
We
He
do
probably
nothing.
knows when all the
So
heavy
it
hitters
can't
are
be
showing
more
up for the
important to stand in the gap. Our
party.
children deserve better than this. Right? And they need a place to be free in the future. And if we don't do that for them, who will? Nobody. Our officials aren't going to do it. They don't think there's anything wrong with what's going on. They think there's something wrong with us holding them accountable. But it's because they've taken our spot. We were supposed to be where they are. We're supposed to be in charge, but we've allowed them to take that spot. And our world has become inverted. Right? And Satan is the ruler of this world, and he is showing the fruits of his labor, right? So that's why it's time for us to show the fruits of our labor. All of these people pushing these agendas have generations of families that continue the journey. They don't even see the fruits happen. Like, they're not even there to see the accomplishments they've made. We're not the same as them in that. We give up. We sit there and we do other things.
Just trying to see if everything's okay.
It's time for
Like
us
right now, I'm seeing
to fight back
like
and say
he's
enough
hitting
is
everything.
enough.
I mean, I can get 4 channels, but
Because a
one of
house
them's
divided
me.
against itself
But he's
cannot
doing
Right.
such.
stand, right? Mark
After the
3:25.
last convoy, he basically is
And
taking
it's
time
for
off
you to look in the
and
mirror and say,
not streaming.
you can do it. You can be the
This-
change.
But
that
I
you
do
need to
see him on Facebook.
His
He's
Tommy
on Facebook
Temper,
quite a
he's
bit.
got his
Don't
stuff
talk
down
about
pat
do
though.
it and look at what's happening.
So
So I encourage you
TV.
guys to just keep standing and saying no because we're strong enough to do it. Right? So I don't even know what I'm saying now, right? Where's the buzzer? There it
They're
is.
about 20 miles from the border, San Diego
I mean,
convoy.
I could listen to you all day. This one, I want to get too close because of the mic.
Sue,
But Audra,
thanks for the sub.
Thank you for being a fan. You know, I mean, Audra is going through challenges right now. She
This
has
is,
a for a reason right now. Just
this
to
is really
support
neat to
her.
watch though, just
And
seeing what's
down
happening here.
Marianne,
She's down
Travel
there
Fund 69 is about 20 minutes away. Grabbing food. He'll be back.
There's
Roger
no
on the
excuse
update.
for any
Thanks a
of
lot.
this. Let's all
We'll bring him in here.
continue to be the voice of
Yeah, travel.
We're,
Audra Morgan, I love you.
TV.
Thank you.
Thanks for the sub. And remember, if you're a small channel,
Right,
you
we're
can
gonna
type the word
continue
link
talking
in my
about
chat,
our children.
and
We
my
have
bot will drop your
Marcy
link.
for Protect Our children, California.
I wish I knew how to do that.
Corbin with us next. Guys, come on up. Marcy and
But-
Sabal, protect the children.
Exactly,
California.
Ren. Whenever Fry goes live, there's a lot of drama and a lot of trolls that try and attack him. So, you know, he's pissed off at the trolls and stuff like that.
So this is
Just
what I
like
gotta
am,
learn,
for that matter.
where these trolls are and stuff like that. Like I can't
Eventually, it
tell.
turned into a safe house for their community. Being gay,
We got Sue,
myself,
Marion.
I got to know them well. Most of the transgenders
Yeah,
refuse
I'm the new Fry.
cross-sex hormones, and all of
Wear
them
a
kept
TV.
their nuts and bolts. My point to all kids
Cunning
out
stunt
there
in the
who
room.
think that they are transgender, your body is perfect. Just
Yeah,
the
cunning
way
stunt,
it is. It's
I
perfect.
agree. I would agree with you, Cunning Stunt.
Growing up is tough, but again, your body is perfect. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been called transphobic because I know that kids 12 years old
Robert
cannot
Sinclair with
consent
the message.
to becoming sterilized, let alone a lifelong
I think this is
big
mostly
pharma
just a one-day
solution.
thing. I don't
What
know
can
that
you
it's
do?
happening after today.
Monitor
So
your
whatever's
kids
happening is
on
going to
their
be
internet
people
intake.
rallying,
Ask
convoying,
them,
and
is your teacher
speeches and stuff.
wondering what your
I don't know that there's
plans
enough
are?
time for people
And
to,
what I
you know,
need you to do is go to our
have
tent
problems
if you
with their
haven't done
different
it already,
agendas,
and
but you never know.
sign the petition for
There's Dennis Bigfoot trying that link out. Hey, Dennis, good to see you.
protectkidsca.com.
Yeah.
What we
If you
wanna
see
do,
Nightbot
what we're
dropping a
trying to
link,
do
that's a
is
good
get
chance for you to
signatures
sub
so
up
we
to
can
somebody.
get this
So
on
I
the
wish I could
ballot
do that
so
while
that
I'm streaming. I wish I could sub up to
little
everyone here.
boys in girls' sports or private
But
spaces
mods, make sure you guys sub up to anyone that drops
Schools
links there, so
must
that if they go
notify
live later,
parents
we can
if
catch them.
their
New
child
streamers.
wants to change their gender. And last but not least, no puberty blockers or
David's
sex
got his
change
popcorn.
operations for the children. No more, no more. Otherwise, little Johnny could be Jane on your tax dollars.
Wow. You have to drive 2
Big
hours to find a
shout out
hotel from this
to our
venue.
truckers.
Holy.
Yes. They are delivering the most beautiful package, protecting our freedom today. And
Mysteries,
like
big
Roger
ups.
said, I just learned the other day that Central Elementary School at San Diego Unified
May the light of the owl
reportedly
shine upon your
processes
harvest.
1.5 million illegal migrants a
547.
month. First, they're given the COVID shot. Next, they separate the kids from their parents and ask them, are you transgender? Are you non-binary? Who knows? God knows what is happening to these kids. So, child trafficking is lucrative. It's more lucrative than selling drugs and weapons combined. So again, what can you do? Make sure you sign our petition. And my friend Corbin here is going to tell you why we have such poor choices to vote on and how it can be fixed.
Hello, everybody. This is going to be super quick, but hello, my name is Corbin. I have a very important message to registered Republicans here in this audience and listening elsewhere. Okay, so that message that we should all be familiar with at this point is that there are too many weak Republicans in office all throughout this country. The key to changing that and getting brave and bold Republicans elected to office who will do what's necessary instead of constantly being worried about re-election is through your local Republican Party's Central Committee, which is more or less the governing body of one's local party. So every local party has their own Central Committee, and the Central Committee is extremely important. You need to know what it is and what these people do. One of the most important functions of the Central Committee is they choose who the local party endorses for office. This is very important. The key to getting brave and bold Republicans into office is to first get the right people endorsed by their local Republican Party, and that starts with getting the right people elected to the Central Committee. Here in California, local county parties elect their Central Committee. In this upcoming March primary election, ballots will be mailed in the coming days. If you are a registered Republican, I ask you come see me and learn more about the Central Committee, which candidates for Central Committee I personally recommend, and how you can get involved to make a difference. I'll be over here somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. So, wow. So
Yeah, I was just talking to my wife in the background there. That's why.
So I missed my
You could
entrance
see
on
my
the
mouth
stage. That's
moving,
okay.
but you couldn't hear me.
So, what are you hearing today? Take a second to reflect. What are you hearing newly for yourself? What's new for you? Are you seeing that there's
Yeah, you got it,
possibility
Rock.
being created today?
Come on to Alberta,
Possibility for
the
we
land of milk and
people to
honey,
come
where the
together.
roads
Listen,
are paved
united we stand, divided
black
we
gold.
fall. We've got to be united. There's a lot more of us than there are of them. Okay? Take a look. Do you
Jobs
see
and
the border?
sheep housing.
Take a look.
That's
Do you
what's
see
in
it?
Alberta.
Do you see the wall? Do you see it? Look. Right
But
there.
it is getting more expensive
You know,
all the time.
Trump built 2 walls. This isn't right or left. I'm not saying Trump,
Because
Trump.
of,
I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying
lockdowns,
there were
bad
measures put in
government,
place to protect
inflation,
us. We have safety measures
all those
put in
things that
place.
you
We, the
don't
people,
like,
have got to come together and hold every single
trying
elected
to take
official
us down.
accountable. We, the people, put them in office. There's far too much overreach, and we've got to stop this. Okay? Now, next up, an amazing woman. So her
Jeff,
name
good to
is
see you.
Martha.
Jeff and his
Martha
dogs
represents Lexit,
chop wood and
who
play
knows what
video
Lexit
games.
is? You guys know Lexit? Yeah?
How does your
Let me
dog
bring
play a
her in.
video game? That's what I want to know.
Martha, come on in the room. Come on, girl. Oh, wait. You had a guest with you. I didn't get to introduce you. Tell me who you are.
Oscar.
Oscar, you guys take center stage.
Oh, yeah. DOA chat should be funny today. Should go over there and say
Good morning,
hi.
godly patriots.
You know, I love that DOA allows me to restream him. You know, he's
You
never
know
ever
that
given me any kind of a strike, and he's always
fake news
been
media
kind as far as letting me restream
is
him.
gonna say
So
about
thanks
this
to DOA.
event that
Appreciate that.
everyone that was here at this event is racist, white supremacist.
You bunch of racist white supremacists. What's the
But
matter with you?
We have Lexit in the house.
We don't even know
and
who
we
you
have
are, but you're
many
racist.
Latinos out
You
here
know.
in the crowd, even a Latino pastor.
I'll wake up in the morning wondering who I'm going to call racist. That's my job for the day.
Lexit
Some
is
people are like
against
that.
not securing our borders. We need our borders secure. We don't know who's coming into our country. We don't know when us
Hacksaw's
patriots go
coming
out
in.
there and we buy a gun, they secure us. I mean, they check us out from head to toe if we're squeaky clean or not. Why are they allowing people just to come in and not even know who they are? They're letting terrorists come in. They're letting terrorists. I heard there's terrorists that came in through San Diego here in the San Ysidro border. So let's keep praying.
Jeff
Let's
Jog.
keep watching.
I know Jeff.
Because the Bible says keep watch and pray.
Tell Escobar,
Watch
you know,
and
like
pray.
how to do this right. To get a
Be
few people
ready
in his
in
chat over there.
season and out of season.
Like, well,
So,
how is it that I get
God bless
500 and
you,
he only gets 5 over
and
there?
let's
Like,
keep
what's wrong?
Fighting.
Something wrong with that
Let's
picture.
take our border back.
Just saying.
Let's take our border back.
I'll trade you. Hello? Yes.
Yeah.
So, I agree with Martha from Lexit.
Katrina.
And as a Latino
Sometimes
from Lexit,
you gotta
we're
do
not
that.
against immigration. I mean, that'd be ridiculous, right? I mean, we all immigrated. My parents immigrated years ago, and you know, but the fact that my family immigrated years ago, my grandfather was a bracero, you know, so we finally came to America.
That's where everybody's sitting right now.
They
They're in
you know, they voted.
in
They hated what Obama was doing, you know.
here in the name of the town,
But
Camarado or whatever, Texas.
We're not against immigration.
But that farm up on the top right,
We're against crime, you know.
over to the river, that's maybe a quarter kilometer, half kilometer.
Against illegal immigration. That's the
So we
point.
literally surpassed that. You know,
Right, that's what
know,
you
people
wanna
are coming up.
remember.
So we let other countries come. How could you stop them? You know, and it's not even Mexico. You got countries south of Mexico. You got Middle Eastern countries.
Good
you
for
got
him,
countries
Jeff.
in the Far East.
Great.
You know, Asia.
Excellent.
You know,
I love it.
we don't know what we're getting.
I like
we know that
Robbie, too.
America has enemies. Not everybody
Hope he
likes America,
succeeds.
and for whatever reason they hate us. You know, I mean, I've traveled the world, and when I say American, either they love me or they're jealous of me. You know?
Kabuki Al.
people are
Elon
coming to
going
this
off
country,
about
we
the
don't know who they are,
border.
they're not being
Uh-oh.
checked. We
Hey,
know
it's our good
political,
friend, Sweet,
you know, and the sad thing is,
Sweet
the main politics of our
Caroline.
lives,
Bum, bum,
somebody's gonna get hurt one
bum.
day. You know, so we're
Good
not
to see
against
ya.
immigration. We're against illegal immigration. And all we're saying is we have this government. They have to wake up. And Lexit means Latinos exit the Democrat Party.
Convoy tour is coming up.
We're just hoping that this Tommy
But only DOA.
Tommy pops up soon. Like Tommy Temper, he's got everything else, but he's looking for a couple of guys that I'm looking for too. Travel 69 and stuff like that, just to see if they're popping on okay. Because those you got this one lady, she's funny as hell. I can't remember her name. I'd have to look here. Give me a second. Her name is Alice Lake out of Texas. She's funny as hell. And then obviously Travel Fund 69, but everybody's waiting for him right now. But we're going to see what happens in a little bit here. So
Team left.
Go back to Tommy here.
And if people can't come to this country anymore to have a better life, there won't be no America left. You know, so I know for us,
You can
like
pay.
some kind of,
Where's
some
those
kind of
bad
a
boys down there at the border? Oh
amount,
no!
Right? Literally, there's more
yeah.
against than for us, right? Bob was talking about that. We know that.
Oh yeah, they're down there at the border. Look out for them. They're coming through. But we've got the rally that's going to tell us all about what's going on there.
You know, just basic common sense. Anti-children. Right? I live in Chino, you know. Chino
Rumigation.
Chino, right?
What's
Chino
that?
stood up with
Never heard that one.
children, right? We're sort of doing that, you know. Literally, our kids come first. The government has no say-so on what our kids could do. You know, we're the parents, right? So I know for us, it seems like it's a big deal, but you know what? If we take little towns, if somebody's running your district, support them.
Oh, he got the black border collie. And did Dad take that other one, that white dog?
Knock on doors. I'm telling you, if he's not knocking on doors,
we were watching that.
It could be like an outreach.
JLR was in there. Oh, Dad's gone live.
But I'm just saying, just you know, just do one city at a time.
That's
you know,
it.
This country, we're gonna take it back. So just keep on fighting, keep on believing, and Lexit, if you want to join the group, you can be Latino, you can be black, white, whatever. It's www.wearelexit.com, right? Wearelexit.com. Join the fight.
561 in the room. Thanks a lot for joining us today. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the Tommy Temper Show. My name is Tommy Temper. I'm located in Alberta, Canada, and we're bringing you action from the Take Our Border Back rally that's happening. Actually, we're watching on our screen two different rallies happening. We've got on the top left of your screen the rally coming in from San Diego, and the rest of your screen here is pretty much coming in from near the border in Texas. So that's the action on the screen here today.
Create the border crisis. Can you actually bring that up here? Because I don't know if everybody can see it there. I couldn't see it well. Let's all just take a look at
And I
this.
just lost audio. Back again.
There we go. There we go. Hi, guys. What's up, guys?
Mr. Peeble.
Hello.
I like the snake.
Is this like, is there a little bit of
That
truth
Trump
here?
recites.
What do you guys think? Is there some truth here? Yeah? Okay. We understand. We learned a lot today. I mean, it's not
Okay, well,
no,
if Robbie stays away from the trolls and is a good boy, then we'll help him. Actually, I'm a good friend of Robbie's. We're pretty good.
We deserve freedom. We
I
deserve
like Robbie.
freedom. Did you hear me? We deserve freedom. We do, and we're gonna take it. We're gonna stand in it. No, we're not gonna go to the border and beat people up at the border. No, we're not gonna use violence. That's not what I'm saying. We're gonna stand in our God-given power.
Yeah, Cadamus Rex. You know, you hate to see success, don't you? If somebody's successful, you'll just tear them down. So, you know, if this is the news, I don't know what is. Okay, this is news. This is news. You're watching news. Okay. Am I a news channel? Well, you know, I'm not really a news channel. I'm an entertainment channel. Paul, how you doing? I don't purport to, you know, be like the purveyor of real news. It's whatever everyone is talking about.
We got the money. You want to get paid, and you don't deputize your sheriffs.
Hey, thanks a lot, Alberta, Canada. That's where we're at.
Behind the scenes.
Go ahead.
Okay, we cannot let the federal government be buying us out with their money. Okay, we need to put everybody in their rightful place. Remember, it's God and it's country. And we got to protect our babies for sure. Guys, thank you so much. Let's give them a hand. Thank you for being a stand for truth. We're going to release you guys back. Moving. All right, so good. All right. Thanks, sir. Thank you. I'd like you to leave the stage. I appreciate you, but please move on. Thank you. All right. So, all right, next up, guys, we've got this guy.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Let me just say, Matt Baker. Freedom!
Not sure what's happening with Lori Arnold there. Gone down.
Hello, San Diego. Can you feel the power in the air? Can you feel that power? Yeah! Feel the ground beneath your feet. Whose dirt is this dirt? This is our dirt. This is our land. Throughout every age.
Noodles,
Every
thanks a
piece
lot.
of dirt
Noodles live
people
with
have
that super
died
chat.
for.
Appreciate that.
They have died to keep that dirt.
Appreciate that super chat. Not necessary, but much appreciated. $5 super chat from Noodles. Thanks a lot. Hey, and Noodles, drop a link there and make sure everyone subs up to Noodles there. Check him out. He's got a great channel. Entertainment coming out of the New York area there. Noodles Live. Thanks for that super chat. Big ups to you.
They want us to be afraid.
Noodles Live super chatted $5. Tommy, thanks for everything. You are a good man. Congratulations, confetti bowl, clapping hands.
Thanks a lot. Noodles Live. Hey, big ups to you there, bud. Appreciate your work out there, helping others there as well.
Are you afraid? Are you afraid? No, we are not afraid. And this government is going to start working for the American people and not against us. They undermine us at every turn. They bring in partisan citizens and teach them better than our
He's just about as riled up as Ted Nugent yesterday.
Everything while old women die in homes alone.
Noodles, big ups, Noodles. Appreciate that. Sub up to Noodles. Drop that link, Noodles, so people can sub up to you.
We need to be America first. Say it with me. America first. America first. America first. And with that attitude, we will never lose.
That's right, Matt Baker. Thank you, Matt. Woo! You know, it's America first, and I want to add to this.
Cannabis Rex. You know, I've done a lot with YouTube and video and boots on the ground. You've seen all the stuff that I've done. So, like, I don't just do nothing and, you know, criticize all day long like other people.
He's a retired Green Beret.
Just saying.
Running for Congress. Joe.
Yeah, why is that man screaming?
Joe, come on over.
Because he's mad, I think.
All right. Thank you guys so much
He's
for
mad.
being
He's
out here.
ticked off and mad.
As you said, my name is Joe Kent. I am running for Congress in Washington's 3rd Congressional District. I came here to stand with all of you because every town in the country, including where I'm from in Washington State, is...
By the way, if you're watching, 500 in the chat, we get hit hard with trolls here and stuff like that, and they try and take channels down. My channel is targeted for takedown, just so you know.
Our neighbors, and my Democrat opponent says with a straight face that no one loses any sleep at night over the open southern border.
Yeah, I might need a decaf, Troy.
People just like the folks we heard from here,
never mind
who
him.
lost their children, who lost their loved ones from this fentanyl that is poisoning our communities. It is an absolute atrocity. Get the flag. There we go. We're good now. I'll just hang on to this. How about that? That's why we're all out here. So I get asked all the time, hey, is it just incompetence? Why would the Democrats do this? Don't they know the borders wide
Yeah, but if I'm wrong, the chat always corrects me. So, you know.
Unconventional warfare operation that is being waged against the people. I spent 20 years in the Army as a Green Beret.
Chat's always right.
This is unconventional warfare. The Democrats have one goal, and our enemy has a goal as well. The Democrats want to pump as many human beings into this country as they possibly can.
I don't know where Travel Fund 69 is yet. 12 man. Hey, 12 man, good to see you. Thanks for popping in.
So they can use them during the census to
Travel Fund 69 is on his way there, and I don't know if he's live yet.
Level, the county levels, and then all the way up into the U.S.
I think he just went live.
And then they're going to get
look
these
at my
people ballots,
feeds here.
either legally or illegally. We're an all mail-out state in Washington State, so this is the Democrats' diabolical power play. They don't care about the fentanyl. However, our enemy, the Chinese Communist Party, they do. They are running the Opium Wars 2.0 against the United States of America. They're sending the ingredients for fentanyl to the Mexican drug cartels. The cartels are pumping it into our country, and we estimate 118,000 Americans of our fellow countrymen who have been assassinated by fentanyl. Just think, after 9/11, we lost roughly about 3,000 Americans on one day. We went to war for 20 plus years because of
There are so many streamers doing stuff today. It is, wow, a great day for streamers.
Our government is not just complicit. They're not just sort of kind of part of it. They are facilitating the entire thing. Our taxpayer dollars
are going to funnel these people and the fentanyl
Just to show you
into the
some of
United
whatever
States
else is
of
going out
America,
there.
Whether it's funding from the U.S.
We've got-
aid or our funding that goes to the UN, we are funding this lock, stock, and barrel, and Congress needs to shut this down. Congress should not be approving one more penny to fund the government until the border is shut down. So you've got to
We've got
reach
this
out.
feed just
Talk to
coming
your
in here.
representatives, talk to your senators.
Indianapolis,
Tell them
Indiana.
no
We've got a
more
convoy
money
supporting
for
Take
anything
Our
until they
Border
do the
Back
bare
that is
minimum,
forming
which is actually
in
defend our
Indianapolis
country.
right now.
All of us should be
So
up
that's a feed
arms
coming
right
in there,
now that
showing
we
you what's
want
going on
brave Americans
in
to take
Indianapolis
the border
in support of the border. So you've got, it's a small group of cars there, but they're trying to put things together to support the border convoy. That's happening right now in Indianapolis.
We need to get out there and do the one thing the Democrats fear the most. What does Joe Biden fear the most? He fears you. Get out there, register fellow patriots to vote, make sure people have a plan to vote, and make sure they vote. And come November, let's take our country back. Thank you guys very much. God bless. God bless America.
God bless America.
How you doing?
Indianapolis, getting ready to rally. Looking good.
Amazing. He has served and fought our country. He could have stopped. He did his work. He didn't. He has two little kids, and he continues to be a stand for freedom. That's so powerful. Now, we got somebody here who is a Las Vegas headliner. He is a veteran, and the work he does today, you're about to hear an incredible, powerful song called Outlaw, but the work he does today all goes back to the vets. That's pretty amazing because we've seen what's happening with the vets. We've seen the vets pushed out of housing, haven't we? Haven't we? Let me introduce my dear friend, Tom Jones!
How's everybody doing? Everybody right now, you've been standing still, listening to a lot of great speakers. This is what I'd like you to do. Turn to somebody on your left, turn to somebody on your right, shake their hand and say, thank you for being here. Let's go. Thank you guys for doing that. So how many of you guys would actually agree with me and say, this is the greatest country on the planet? How many of you would also say that we have the greatest military on the planet? I was very fortunate to serve in the United
Great
States
day,
Air Force.
Michael.
My brother served in the Army
Thanks for
as a
popping
Ranger.
in.
My father served for 24 years. I've watched what happens after a military person goes into transition into civilian life. And right now, I wear a little rubber thing on my right wrist every single day, every single show I do. And it says 22 a day. Does anybody know what that number is? What is it? We're losing, it says 22. Guess what? The number's actually closer to 40 right now. Veterans that are taking their own lives because they feel neglected and ignored. They're being kicked out of some of the places they've been able to have shelter. So as a veteran and as an American, I think we can all remember back in a time when Mr. Kennedy said, President Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. So each and every one of these people that are here today, I want you to give it up for all the folks that put this convoy together, all the truckers, because they've been out here since 4 o'clock this morning. And I want you to make it so loud that they can hear us in Texas. They can hear us in Arizona. Everybody make some noise. Yes, yes. So I wrote this song.
Yeah, Lori
because I
Arnold is in
stood back
town.
and watched
Look out.
what was happening.
Hide your
I had
kids.
left Las Vegas for Alabama, my home. And I'd watched President Trump at a speech. And you know what I thought? I thought to myself, excuse me? I thought to myself,
I don't know where Travel Fund
veterans
is
need
there.
help.
I was out there looking for him. Couldn't find him.
our Constitution means
But he
to be
is having
defended. So I
trouble
wrote a song, and I'm using
streaming. I know
most
that
of the
much.
proceeds
Glitching
come from
there
any show
yesterday.
I do, any merchandise I sell anywhere around the world. And we're going to put it back and to get our veterans off of the poison and the pills and get them on nutrition and technology to actually help them get their minds back. Our veterans are our most valuable asset. Who would agree with me? Let me hear you guys. All right. So this song is called Outlaw in the USA. And I hope you enjoy it. Because music has the ability
Check
to
out the people that are
transcend
dropping links. Make sure you
anywhere,
sub up to them.
anytime,
Find those new
any
streamers.
race, any religion,
Got
any culture.
like Angie.
Because music is what makes this
Hey
world
Angie,
go round.
good to see you.
On August 8th,
Joanne Nix in there.
2023,
Christy,
a
FJT.
young man by the name of Oliver Anthony recorded a song. And
Epistemic.
that song was called Richmond,
Gig.
North of Richmond. Who's heard it?
That's an interesting
Normally,
name.
when I do a
Good to see
show,
you.
We don't ask people to put their videos out and take video. But I'm going to ask every single person here right now to get your phones
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, you
Get your
want to
phones
sub
out
to new
right now.
channels. So if you see
When I
links in my
perform
chat,
this song,
that's
we're
one of the
gonna
good
take
things
it
about my
viral.
channel
We're gonna show
is
our
that
veterans that we
we've got
respect
that
them,
bot set up
we-
to drop
we
links.
adore them,
So
and we wanna take
everyone
care of
wants to
them.
find new channels to watch.
So,
You
get
know,
your cameras
absolutely.
out, go
Sub up
live,
to any of those
record
links.
this. At the end of the presentation today, I've got some little brochures here.
That's
in
why
the
people
back.
come to my
You can
channel
Go on to my website, listen to,
to
the song, share
grab
it with your
new
family,
links.
share it with your friends, share it with your company, because we are now
Casey,
considered outlaws
Barky
in the
Face.
USA.
You betcha. Great. Appreciate it all. Call that cat. Tommy Temper team. Keep up the good work. Call that cat with that $10 super chat. Much appreciated. Call that cat. You're the best. You're one of our great supporters of the stream here. Appreciate you for the tips that you give us for doing the stream. I do appreciate that 100%. Thank you very, very much. Call that cat. Big ups. Whoop, whoop. And Jeff, a new member.
Collect Cat super chatted $10. Team Tommy Temper, keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Call that cat. Big ups to you. And Jeff chops wood, and he plays video games. Became a YouTube member. What that is he went in. You know that little join button? There's that little join button, and if you look there, and you can become a member of the channel. What that gives you is access to all of our videos, because some of our videos are in the vault, in that secret vault where members have access to it. So if you're a member, you have access to all of our videos out there. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Big ups to Jeff for becoming a member, and Call That Cat for that big super chat. Call That Cat. You're the best. Appreciate that. I don't know what to say. It's like, it's humbling. You know, like I'm not here to make money. I'm not here to get rich. It's not a money thing for me. I'm not here for money. It's a fun thing. I'm here for fun. If people give me a little tip or something while I'm here, I'm really grateful. But you know, don't give me money. What you want to do is you want to go over to the streamers that I'm streaming, and if you're going to support the streamers, support the people that we're showing you out there. You know, that they come first. They're the boots on the ground. They're the guys that are out there. I'm simply taking their content, you know, putting it all together, and then bringing it up to a show that you can see. But that's the reason that we drop links, so that if you want to donate, you can hit that link and go and donate directly to the guy out there that is providing the entertainment. So that's what it's all about here. But thank you very much. Appreciate that. Ouija Live is on YouTube. He's pretty intense. Ooh, I don't know that guy. Can we get a link on that guy there, Ahmad? I don't know who that is. I'd like to find out what that is. Karen, thanks for becoming a member. Karen Hayes. Big ups to you. Thank you very much. Karen Hayes, member of our YouTube channel here. Thanks a lot. Big ups to you. Karen Hayes. Yeah, hey, Robert, I'm going to give you a wrench so that you can drop a link, okay? Hang on. My chat is going too fast for me to find you. Yeah, I'm not sure. But Robert Escobar, you were talking about somebody there that was a streamer or something that you had info on. Be good to find out what's going on there. Yeah, Bandit 178 is not the Marcus guy. He's a different guy. I see that. Linda Hogan looking for new links. Absolutely.
It takes a spark to start a fire. Let's start a fire!
Okay, up on the top left is in San Diego. Or California, we should say, near San Diego. That's where the rally is right there. And then everywhere else on your screen is the at the Texas Children's Farm.
Come on, so good. Scotty, come on up with me. Wow. Is that good?
That's right. There's northern border problems, but the problem is that's where the entry point is to into Canada.
Don't worry, they're coming.
So yeah,
Directions are coming for you.
they're actually
We'll have
leaving the
somebody
U.S.
come up.
coming
We're gonna
into
do a little
Canada.
bit of a wrap up, and then we've got Sandra Compton coming to the stage with a quick word. She's a powerhouse. We're actually
Thanks for the sub. Got people subbing in there.
Isn't that awesome? Where's
Robert.
my husband? Rick Yater, where are you?
And
Where's Rick? He's somewhere in the audience.
Maniac, no, Manic Marshall.
Do you remember that?
Good to see you. Thanks a lot.
Awesome. That was awesome. So today we got to release Doves.
Great people today. You guys are the reason we're here. We are the people. We, the people, are going to take our border back. Tom Kaz just said it takes a spark to ignite a fire. I think we burned a fire today, don't you?
Yeah, so amazing. You know, I have to tell you.
We got us a fire.
I was
Let's get this party started. Come on, you guys. Hey, where are you staying tonight? Where are they staying tonight? I don't know. Could be at the YMCA. Come on, you guys. Let's have some fun here today. Thanks a lot for anyone who became a member or donated to the stream. Appreciate it. Not necessary, but much appreciated.
Tom said, send me in, Chief.
Wiggle Styles from Illinois. Good to see you. Wiggle.
They've been waiting.
You got a nice dog there. And look at, he's got a bandana with the flag on it.
Okay.
What a patriot. Wiggle Styles in the house.
Our core assembly team, we're here. We got your back. We are going to hold up your arms. We are going to keep standing. We will continue to stand, and we will take that border back. We're going to keep going until it's done and complete.
Lord Chicken.
See, I have a background in, fitness and training, and if it's not done and complete, then it's not done. So we're going to get it.
Oh, no, they're not using that horse trough for baptizing. I saw it.
Take a look.
I thought it was for cooling beer.
2 walls there protecting that area.
What do I know?
Let's get those walls protecting America right now. And
The Big Nuts Show.
People, like someone just asked me in an interview, Scotty.
Everyone's got a show now.
Is this about racism? No, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We love Mexico. We love every single nation. They are part of God. They are creation of the Creator. We are not segregating. We are including. We're including.
Sherry, thanks for subbing.
Guys. We get to live together.
Hey, Kim.
Yeah.
What does General Flynn say? Local action equals national impact. This is about taking our country back in our backyards at a local level. The federal government is co-opted. They're compromised. We can't do anything about it until Trump's back. But in the meantime, let's take our country back in our own backyards. Go to your school board.
Audra Morgan can tell you how to go to a school board meeting
She can,
and raise
she'll show
some
ya.
help.
Mark
Go to your
Milo.
county board meetings,
Thanks
go
for the
to
big
your
ups.
city
We're
hall
over.
meetings. And we got to do it, folks. It's
Let's
up
see
to
if we
us
can
from
get
the local
over
level to take
5,500.
this country back.
Actually, yesterday we
The
were trying to
borders are
go.
local
We're trying to hit
stuff. Yeah, that's
5,000.
why we're here
Now we're
today.
trying to hit
Yeah,
5,500. Wow,
absolutely, absolutely.
big numbers
So,
here.
Scotty,
Lots of subscribers to the channel here on this feed. Thanks a lot for subbing. If you're not a subscriber, hey, drop down that chat, hit that little bell button. It'll help you find us later.
Bring them on.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, so come up right around this corner, there's the entry, or you can release here, that's perfect. I'm so glad you guys made it. I heard you were lunch at McDonald's. I heard. Wrong location. I got that. Sandra, let's have you come up here, okay?
The AP presser on their knees.
Fantastic. Let's
AP
have you
presser always
David,
on. She's all
Ted Nugent and Dr. Phil are fighting it out, and
Sandra
Alex
Thompson and her amazing husband
Alex Jones.
have been
The three of them are fighting it out to see who's going to be the
support
headliner.
Here
They are
in San
drone
Jacinto.
It
They
should be good.
live right above the border. They have
Yeah,
all eyes on
it's
the
going to
border
be a good
very
one.
often.
Again, we're
And they have
waiting
a plot of
for
land
Ted
where
Nugent,
they bring
Alex
people
Jones,
together
Dr.
to pray,
Phil, all
to
going to be
worship,
speaking
to
today.
declare.
And who knows who else
You know,
that we haven't
you know what
found
mode
out yet.
the world I wanna
Could be
live in is? You know
a
what
special
that
speaker
is?
coming in there.
I want to live in a world where we're all united.
That's right. Live
Wouldn't it
streaming
be
is
great
hard. I
if
know.
we
I've been out there live streaming.
and stuff like that, where
Especially where you
everybody
got to
is
stand up all day, too.
united? Wouldn't that just be
Walk around,
awesome?
talk to people. Can be very
Unfortunately, we have
taxing.
what's called human nature. People do get to choose. We all have the freedom
Do you think
to
Bandit
choose every
78
single day.
should
Some
be up on the
choose
screen?
What is good and what is light. Others choose what is
Drop his link again.
not so
I'm looking
good
at the
and what is
chat.
dark.
Let me go over to
We, the people, get to choose.
YouTube. And
I think what's
anybody else that
important
you
is
want me
that
to
we
come up there,
begin to
drop his link again.
choose
Right now, I'm looking at the chat.
What's going to give us true freedom? We begin to, one, choose the
If it
relationship we
doesn't
have
move
with
too
God.
fast, I can
And
harvest the link.
two, choose to continue to stand no matter what happens. You know, and the Bible says, stand firm, let nothing move you. Always give yourself fully to the work of the Lord, because your work of the Lord is not in vain. God
Around
sees
500
everything we
people,
do, and in
4
my
to
perfect
500
world,
people
we would
watching.
all be united, but it's not the case at this time, so we've got to protect our home.
Jumping up and
that's
down.
why
People are coming and going.
keeping our borders safe
Wanting to
and
see what's
taking
going on
our
here.
border back is so
Small town
important.
girl.
I want
Hey,
to have
good
a
to see ya.
country for my grandbaby. I want
Carmen.
a country. Sandra Compton, you were a big part of this event today. You have
Brenda.
made so
Carrie.
much of this possible. You have been
Casey.
in the trenches with me. Lots of conversation, even the
There's
porta
Dee in
potty
there.
conversations.
Where's Kim? I
I
saw
just
Kim in
love
there
you,
giving
and
me
I'm
a
gonna
high
leave it
five
alone
and a
for
shout out there yesterday. That was funny. Kim has boots on the ground down there.
Here. I just wanted to say that it's not easy for me, like other people, to be in stage and be in front of all you to make a speech. And so I'm here to say that we
They
need to
said
get out of
yesterday
our
that they were
comfort
going to be
zone,
doing
as
some
I am doing
baptizing.
Right now, I'm better at being
So
behind
there's
the
that
scenes,
possibility.
but I'm here more than anything to glorify God. And He is really our audience. We have been speaking to all of you, but He is really our audience. We need to move God so that He can heal our land. And we need to give reverence to Him. And I love prophetic acts, as these are 7 white doves for the 7 spirits of God. And one thing I feel prophetically for all of us to do is to acknowledge God by just kneeling down for 30 seconds and showing Him our reverence. Can we all kneel down to God? Can we all kneel down to God and say, God, thank you that you are the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. You are who created all of us. And we humble ourselves to you right now at the world's busiest border crossing to tell you, God, that we want to dedicate this border to you and every single other border so that you can heal this land and allow the people that you want to come in and stop the people that are our enemies. You know who are our enemies, God. Even working in the system, in the police, in the Border Patrol, and Homeland Security, there are evil people and there are good people. I just want to ask God to remove the corruption. Remove the corrupt people, and you know who you are. And I ask the spirit of conviction to convict you out of here, out of your positions, out of your political positions that you are only in it for yourself and not for God. We are here in this earth to please God, not please ourselves. So we thank God that he is listening to us because he is our audience today. And we ask you, God, in our knees.
Okay, that's Master
that we are
Grifter,
humbling ourselves
top
to you.
right.
And we just want to.
And that's where somebody says there was some kind of baptism going on in a
you will also declare
a metal
and it will be
tub or
established
something
for
there.
you,
And I know I saw a
so
metal
light
tub there
will shine on your ways.
yesterday,
I want to
but I don't
declare
see that in the video at the moment.
China, as they are going to have a new year, February 10th, and their animal is the dragon, that I declare that we cut the head off the dragon. We cut the head off the dragon and we render it powerless. You, China, and the spirit of dragon, you cannot come into our country and take it over. In
No
the
tyranny.
name of Jesus, in the name of Jesus. And in Mexico, that they
Catch you, Mary.
worship La Santa Muerte.
Vaughn
We also
Michelle,
bind
big
you
ups to you.
by the
Love
blood
to
of
see you in the
Lamb
channel
and
participating.
cut you
Vaughn Michelle,
down into pieces,
big
and we
streamer.
render you
Vaughn, drop
also
your,
powerless.
type in a link there. Drop your
And
channel
all
link
your
there so people can
contracts
sub
that
up
you
to you.
have,
Vaughn Michelle,
we
check
call
her out.
them null and void.
Jeanette,
Because the power of God, no one usurps it.
Christy,
And we are
1090 in
here
there.
as
Troy.
as a Gideon, that God has sent us to spread the gospel, that Jesus
10-4.
died on the cross.
Let's go back to Master Grifter and see what's happening back at the ranch.
I think it was the People's Convoy.
There's Master Grifter's
Yeah.
audio.
We were, I don't know, I've been in a couple of them. There's been a
Top
lot
rate.
of convoys. There's been a lot of Jericho marches. That's right.
Okay, so this is at the Children's Ranch in Texas that we're
I'm gonna
hearing now.
share this with you.
Previous was San
This is
Diego
important
Fresh Rally just
for
started
everyone
today.
To hear, to understand. God doesn't need you to have it all figured out. He doesn't need you to be qualified to do something. He's going to equip you if he calls you to do something. He's
Thank
gonna
you,
send the right
Jeanette.
people. He's gonna
Beautiful
send
flower.
folks like
Love it.
Andrew Molnex and Robert Maddox help with
We're going to have a nice day.
He's going to
Absolutely.
send folks like Kip Coltrane and these other gentlemen over here that help with, and Vinny, helping with organizing, getting this convoy from Virginia to Texas. He's going to send.
Yeah, when I
folks
saw
like
that
Bob
tub
Parker and the
yesterday, I
ministry
thought it was
team
for
to come out here
baptism
and
as
bless
well.
us with the
And they
word
said they were going to do
and
that.
praise. He's going to send all of you folks, all these volunteers here that have helped make this possible. They just came and showed us, how can I help? What can I do? Use me.
Yeah, we're Carmen.
Thank God for that.
Where's our famous streamer? Okay, chat or anyone listening. Last night we came across this streamer. He is called Unkillable, and we had him up there last night. He was actually pretty good.
I had to flee from there.
Oh, look at! Did you see those doves that they released up on the top left there? They released a bunch of doves into the air. That was pretty interesting.
That's what he does.
But anyways, Unkillable was up there yesterday. I don't know where he is today. So be on the lookout for Unkillable. If he comes on, we'll bring him up. He's a little bit,
2 years ago,
yeah, brand new streamer and pretty lively, put it that way.
Doing tractor work. Didn't even have a social media account. Next thing I know, we're putting up billboards all across the nation, my wife and I. Weren't planning on that either. Doing a Remnant Revolution tour.
There you go.
Around the nation. And
Vaughn Michelle.
What do we got here?
Your channel doesn't suck,
Lost Dog.
Vaughn. I watch you.
Lost Dog.
You
Anybody
know,
got a Lost
the only
Dog?
thing that sucks is your camera angles, right? Other than that, it's your channel is about you talking and what you have to say and what's on your mind. So, you know, it's more of a get your voice out there channel than video content. But yeah, once in a while you do a video thing when you're in your car going around showing us the countryside.
That's beautiful. We got a blue lost phone. It's one of those flip ones with the big screen that folds out. Samsung.
Real fishing. Thanks a lot.
Samsung, not Samsung. All right, blue phone, blue lost cell phone. Come see me. Okay, where do I need to stand, Andrew? I'm walking all over this stage.
Now all they need is a wedding. Yeah. Hey, no doubt someone will get married there. There were people at the last convoy that got married in the convoy, if you remember that.
Again.
So yeah, it does happen.
If God's calling you to something, just step out of that boat in faith, take that step, and walk how he'll open doors. Watch how he'll use you. And you don't have to have that figured out.
Blonde, you were watching that.
I don't know anything about
Oh,
building.
man.
Now I do, actually.
In fact, I caught it from 12 Man. He gave me hell for laughing, for chuckling. You know, like, you know what? I was thinking about that. I think what happened is he lifted up his shirt and he showed all those scars, and I laughed, and I was like chuckling, going like, holy, like I was thinking in my mind, holy, look at all the wounds that guy has. And apparently it was his wife that shot him. But yeah, quite the story there. Unkillable. If he shows up, we'll put him back on the screen here. Let me know when he goes live. Find out more about him.
And all those guys, you know, been working real hard behind the scenes to try to do something. We all did the best we could, and here we are today. We're so thankful for it. A couple orders of business before we get going here. Where's Trina Sevens? Trina Sevens, if you're in the house, I'm going to have you say a little something about what's going on outside that gate. While we're waiting for Trina to come up here, I'm going to read something.
We needed you yesterday, bro.
Who's the Big Nut Show?
Oh my goodness.
Got a little declaration.
Is that Nuts and Crackers? Are you now the Big Nut Show? You guys keep changing your handles all the time, or is that somebody new? You sounds like Nuts and Crackers.
We're going down the ports of entry, and you know, we're a bunch of, well, you know what they said. I think you know why they say that.
Info table, there's a photo of the address. So just head on over there, take a photo of it, or go to takeourborderback.com.
The interviews that we've done. But the enemy, he's a liar, isn't he?
No,
he's a liar.
Top left is San Diego. Top right is in Texas, near the border.
I wouldn't be surprised some of the mainstream media has here sent those guys out here just to get some clips.
Travel Fund should be live at 1 p.m. Gotcha. About another half hour. They'll be probably not going live till he gets on site there. You have to drive back. Okay, I'll be back in a little bit as we watch the convoy process here. Victor, thanks a lot for subbing up. Appreciate that.
Realize they've been lied to about everything, especially from the mainstream media. So as soon as they start putting that stuff up
Victor,
on TV, everyone's
big
like,
ups.
oh, come on. We know what you're doing. All it does is discredit them. But they still keep doing it to themselves. They still haven't learned. There's a day coming real soon. But this is all going to be rectified. Declaration. Southern Border Convoy hereby makes the following statements and claim. We are calling on all Americans to join us in a peaceful assembly. We are acting on our First Amendment rights, which states, Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or the press, or the right for people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Yeah!
Therefore, we are first recognizing our rights to peacefully assemble. Second, we are exercising our rights to freedom of speech that shall not be abridged. Third, the American people are making their voices heard by participating in the convoy as a petition to the federal government for a redress of our grievances. And lastly, we are exercising our rights to God. We're calling on all Americans to pray and join us today in this peaceful assembly. We strongly condemn any violence as we call for everyone to be in honor and have clean hands. This convoy is meant to bring our country together in love, kindness, and peace. Those are some of the fruits of the Spirit, aren't they? We call on everyone to respect our public police, sheriff, law enforcement, military, or anyone in a public authority position. We give notice to anyone who has ill intent not to join us. We are claiming these herein rights along with all of our Bill of Rights to make this claim, of a peaceful assembly. everybody?
10-4, driver!
I got one more order of business here. This one's going to be fun. Well, I got to get through all my videos of all the folks standing out on the side of the road coming from Dripping Springs to here. Holy moly. Y'all see Uvalde? There's people stretching all the way through that city. Children, mothers, fathers, police officers, sheriffs with their phones.
Border Patrol!
That was absolutely incredible.
Border Patrol was there!
Border Patrol. All right, here we go. We got one more. This is an attention. Attention, everybody. Let me have your attention. Notice to all agents and principals. This meeting is private. Bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. Got some attorneys working for us. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Okay. Is there any response to the Biden's decision for this third and final time? Furthermore, anyone who is here under false pretense, anyone who is working for a foreign government, including the territorial United States or municipal United States, anyone who is being paid or coerced to be here must fully disclose their presence and purpose. Now, and you must leave the premises immediately or call. You've been put on notice, just saying. Where's Trennis? Trennis Evans. All right, well, there he is. There he is. Thank you, sir. Trennis, will you address the issue out front?
Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you arrived here after I spoke about this a little bit earlier today. There is a group out front that is entitled to their free speech. The answer to speech you don't like is more speech or not to give it an audience. Amen. If you're out there giving that an audience, rest assured your picture will end up in the papers with that stuff in the background, and that's what will be told about you for what you did and what was done here today. That will be the representative nature of this event when the leftist papers and the propaganda legacy media continues with their narrative. Do you want to be a part of that? Raise your hand if you'd like to be a part of that. Can I get a big no? We don't want to be a part of that. No. They're entitled. Pay them no mind. Let them do as they do, but don't go out there and bear witness to that. That is not our message. Is that consistent with what you came here for? Is it consistent with what you want your children and future generations to know of what happened here today, this gathering, and this time? The people that have put this together, Robert Agee and many others, I always say I aspire to be as good a man as Robert Agee, and that's not going to happen, as Laura Logan likes to remind me. But, and yes, she will. Listen, guys, a lot of people put a lot of hard work in. Hanson, Steve, they gave this property. They gave of themselves. Weeks of effort and devotion went in to create all this, and we're just getting started. A lot of people would like to come here and bear witness to what's happening, but that rhetoric out there will scare them away. And if they see you gathered on those fence poles, you'll be the fence post fools that are watching it, and you play to the narrative that's going on. So I beg of you, I ask of you, in respect for all of the hard work and of all of the mission. The mission here is the border. That's what we're for. I don't care if you came here as a libertarian. I don't care if you came here as a Republican, a Trump for any other reason other than the border as a primary issue. And Jesus, well, the Jesus is the given. I'm sorry.
Okay,
you boys
we're
have
back.
that covered, but I see, this is why.
We're back on the attack. What could be happening now? 468 in the room. We're going between about 450 and 550. Those are some pretty good numbers here today. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Please stay in here. Listen to these speakers. I spent 2.5 hours out there on a megaphone shooing people back. Could we be our own stewards? So I may sit in here and have this uplifting message as well. And we can bring the people out there in and say, come on in. We don't need to do this anymore. We're going to handle this ourselves. We're going to find it in ourselves to lift ourselves up, hear the message that belongs right here, that should be in your hearts, and should be carried across this nation from this stage here in the United States of America in Camado, Texas today with my great fellow Americans, God-loving, Christian friends and family.
Anti-everything, Daniel Smith's rally. Oh, really?
God bless you.
Janice is there. Oh, man. I would love to be there.
Couple other points of interest here we need to deal with.
I would love to be at that rally. But this is an important venue here today. Very important. And it hasn't even started yet. Well, you know, the speakers have just started with first speaker up there.
The Texas Independent Project.
But yeah, I would love to capture our local stuff here. I would go out there for sure.
Hosting us here and facilitating the
But this is a big event. You know, like lots of people watching. Thank you very much, everyone that's tuned in here. 436 people, concurrent viewers.
For children in need.
Chat rate 14. 10,000 views so far of this stream.
During the lockdowns. They got shut down.
That's a lot of views.
10,000
views, and we've only been streaming here for a couple hours. That is huge. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Taking other property off of their property here. And they've been really hurt, and they've been praying, Lord.
Unbelievable.
When? Are you going to restore us? Is there any hope?
Lion Wars.
I think God sent a
Good
message.
to see you.
I think God said, I'm going to send you an army.
Why don't you go live there? And I'll bring you up here. That'd be funny. Just tell me what your channel is so you're going to go on. Lion Wars.
I ask that everybody please respect this property. If you see trash on the ground, please pick it up. If you see
just go live with your phone. Incognito. Put a black mask on. You'll blend right in.
Breakfast for us.
Dress in black with a black mask.
Dinner. It's inside this building right behind us. Okay? Right inside the building. Not outside the building. Inside the building.
452.
Bunch of food.
Slated.
It up.
On the agenda. Ted Nugent. Sarah Palin. Laura Logan.
Let's take care of them.
Dr. Phil. And Alex Jones coming up on the show here today.
We're taking an offering later for this place. I just want to make sure
Can't beat that. Dr. Phil. Dr. P. Hill. Dr. P. Hill will be showing up. He will.
All right.
I know. He was on his boat there last week. No, he flew in by helicopter. We saw it yesterday. Yeah, he's coming. He's there.
I want to let y'all know that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
We don't know.
Like, this is a big show. That's why there's 400 people watching.
We don't have a
exactly
strategic agenda. But we do have some amazing personalities coming out here that are doing a mighty work for the state of Texas, for the United States as a whole, in so many different ways, and they're going to share a message. You're going to see.
Well, I don't know who's coming. We know that these people are hanging around. Okay. Like, I don't know the itinerary. Oh yeah, Mrs. Tommy is in the background there. She doesn't believe me either. I don't know. Well, okay, we know for sure that Ted Nugent is hanging around there because he was at a thing there 2 days ago. So we expect he's going to be showing up. Sarah Palin, you know, for sure. Laura, for sure. Alex Jones, I just heard about that one today, so I'm like dubious on Alex. But Dr. Phil was definitely flying in yesterday, and we heard it was something to do with the convoy. I don't know if it's for this event or whatever, but that was the word yesterday.
We're going to give it a shot.
And I don't know that there's any official itinerary anywhere. Troy, is there an official itinerary of who's showing up at the event there today? On their website or something?
Have Keith Keith Self
Be good to find out.
He's serving the
Because, you know, everything I'm saying is speculation so
up there
far.
in northeastern Texas.
But,
It's
you
quite
know,
a bio.
I'm telling you
Read this real quick.
what I've heard.
Okay. Keith Self is
So
a
we
fifth
hope it happens.
generation native Texan.
If it doesn't, well,
He served his military career around
don't blame
the world.
me.
He
Look at
graduated from high school in Amarillo,
5,550
then accepted
subs.
an appointment to the
I wonder
United
if we
States
can make it,
Military
you know, like your
Academy at
odometer
West
on your
Point,
car, where it's like
where he began a 25-year
5555.
career of service to our country.
That'd be good. Hey, you guys sitting there. 20% of you are just lurkers. Come on, sub up to the channel. Let's see that sub button go up there. See if we can get up to. Never mind that. 5555.
Sensitive of military matters.
Triple nickel.
He served as
Quadruple
infantry
nickel.
Platoon leader, special forces detached commander.
Whoa, what happened? It jumped to
As the
5560.
executive office to a major
Missed it.
general in Egypt, responsible for managing $2 billion in
Oh my
security
gosh.
assistance.
Thanks a lot for subbing. Appreciate it.
My goodness.
I missed it.
Whoa. Who am I? I don't know. I'm worried he'd be standing next to you right here. Okay. During this career, Keith.
What have you missed? I don't know. Me having fun?
Keith received the Master Parachutist badge. You and Doc Pete Chambers ever jump out of a helicopter together? I think Doc's flying in on a
There you
helicopter.
go. Julie Miller.
Yeah, he's come. Oh, that
With
might
the
be
comment.
That might be the news. You're going to see Doc here in a little bit. Okay, Ranger tab, Special Forces tab, and held some of the highest level of security
Well,
clearances.
yesterday a helicopter flew in, and everyone said he flew in a helicopter. We saw the helicopter. I didn't actually see Dr. Phil with my own eyes, you know. So
Please help me welcome
that's all we know.
Congressman Keith Self.
Unless somebody in the chat knows more.
Well, hello, Texas.
James Tapp.
How does it feel
Good to see you.
be in the company of fellow patriots who are sacrificing their time and their money to join us here on the border? How does
James
it
Tapp
feel
has
to
word
live in a free
protesters out in
country?
front of the rally
Well, our mission
in the
today
street.
is to save our republic.
Quamado.
You are the tip of a spear of a movement that is spreading across America. People are so frustrated across America with our federal government. And you are the voice today of
Can we
that
have a
movement.
mod please turn
You're
on
the voice for
slow
millions
mode?
of people who are not being heard simply because you are here peacefully protesting. And I hear your cry. I'm on the Veterans Affairs Committee in Congress, and we've got too many veterans sleeping on the streets, homeless. We've got children that are
And
being
just let me know
ripped
that
out of their
slow mode is on,
classrooms so
or
they can
maybe it'll
house
pop up.
illegal immigrants. And now the FAA is saying they're going to house illegal immigrants on secure airport property. When will the federal government start to work for the American people? Let me tell you, you're the voice of the people that President Trump called the forgotten man. You work hard. You earn an honest wage. You pay exorbitant taxes to the federal government. And what do you get? In Joe Biden's America, you get to live paycheck to paycheck while illegal immigrants are given cell phones and plane tickets and free housing. In Joe Biden's America, if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're a target, while a two-time felon gets to roam around America for a whole year. In Joe Biden's America, if you're a MAGA Republican, you're on the FBI watch list. Let me tell you, in Joe Biden's America, you get 8 million illegal immigrants in 3 years. You get 100,000 minors have been lost across the United States. You get enough fentanyl crossing the border to kill the entire world's population. You get sex trafficking and cartels that control the southern border. Folks, this is serious stuff. This is evil stuff. We are in a spiritual battle for the survival of
They're
our
protesting
republic.
the convoy.
And I know that you feel
Wow.
it.
That's
But we're
interesting.
not giving up. We are not giving up. I join you to call on the
James, is
Biden
there anybody with video
administration
out
to
there?
repent of their actions.
and to turn their hearts to the American people, to love the American people, not to oppress the American people. I got to tell you, I want him to restore
No, you're way too long.
law and order.
Ms. Frosty in the
You know,
house. Big ups.
Texas, I proudly serve the Texas 3rd District. Texas is on the front lines of this battle for freedom,
Also
and
known
states'
as A
rights,
Beautiful Day.
for their constitutional right to close the border if the federal government will not.
Oh, way too long. It's not that long. But just when you have a lot of people in here, there's a chance that a spammer might come in here that, you know, the guy that you know, you see him, he'll type like A, next one, B, C, D, and put a nasty word in there.
To take that flag with you, as
Well, we
you
don't want
and
that
I
to
go
happen
together
today.
with the hundreds of thousands that are watching, as we go together to save our republic. God bless you, God bless Texas, and God bless America. Thank you so much.
Well, usually you don't need slow mode, but I don't want to get like spam bad today.
How we doing today? I'm Donica Hudson. I'm the media liaison for the Texas Convoy.
We don't want IP2 style
So
chat.
glad to have you here. We've got lots of interviews going on. Actually, Robert is being interviewed right now. And so I'm going to do a little giveaway. I know you've probably heard Robert Agee be interviewed. You've heard Craig Hudgens, who is the lead RV, being interviewed about the first landing and how we started this convoy in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And the reason being to fulfill
The only one that might be outside, CC, is up on your top left. Or no, not top left. Lori Arnold, who's outside of the event, but she was at something else there.
Virginia. They planted this huge wooden cross. They knelt, they took communion, and they dedicated this land to God. And they prayed.
Mods, keep a watch on Lori Arnold to see what she's up to.
That they would also
Because I had her up,
themselves to
she
God,
went
and they would reach those
dark.
in these shores with the gospel of Jesus Christ. They also prayed.
We got Ant still on top left. Went away from the event, went to the store.
Fallen from being able to recognize that with our civil covenants. And that was just the very first one. So actually this convoy, in a sense, is a fulfillment of that covenant. I bet they're up in a cloud of
Sorry, I had to
witnesses,
cough
our
a little.
founding fathers, watching what we, the people, are doing here with the republic that was entrusted to us by God. Yeah, did you know we're one of the only nations on the earth that has civil covenants as our founding documents?
Yeah, well, even 1 minute is not that long. You know what I mean? The average person that comments probably
That's right.
takes a minute before he comments again anyway.
And we love our country. We love God, and we love people.
Coming in from Facebook, good to see you. Deborah Flowers, big ups.
We
Looking
especially
good.
want our federal government to welcome them at the 28 points of entry in Texas. Right? Okay.
Yeah, I need some kind of a feed of that Janice Irwin thing that's over in Edmonton there today.
Covenant that I was
Should be
privileged to write that
interesting.
we actually used. Glenn Beck came. He brought David Barton, Michelle Bachman, Alex Newman, lots of other folks who were really adept at history. In fact, Glenn and David
Official
Barton have the largest
street preach
museum in the country next to
Fearless
the
one.
Library of Congress, the historical library. This Declaration of Covenant actually talks about our founding documents, the roots of them, and it recovenants at the end. So I'm going to read the recovenanting portion of this. Robert Agee did all the graphics for it. And then the Remnant Revolution tour that he did, the RV tour that went across the nation where he was baptizing folks,
Dawn.
came out of that. So we are
Yeah,
all on
the only
a
red
mission.
light
If
is
you're here, you're on a
you
mission.
won't be able to, your enter button
The Lord showed
won't
me
work.
that there is a force of covenant and history in our civil covenants, that when we agree with the prayers that our founding fathers prayed, we actually usher in the angels and the host of heaven to preserve our nation and our nation's civil covenants. If we had eyes to see, we'd be like Elijah and say, there's many more of us than there are of them. So I want you to join with me. I want you to prepare your hearts, and I want you to listen to the words that our founding fathers prayed when they knelt on the shores of Cape Henry.
Tom McDonald,
We
yeah.
do hereby dedicate this land and ourselves to reach the people within these shores with the gospel of Jesus
Big
Christ.
Sky.
And to raise
There's a
up
lot of
godly
religion in here.
generations
I'm,
after us.
you know, like
And with
I
these
grew up
generations,
with a religious
take the
background.
kingdom of God
I'm not
to all
religious
the
today,
earth.
but I
May
have
this
religious
covenant
morals. You know,
dedication
that's where I am.
remain
So,
to all generations
but
as
on the other
long
hand,
as
I'm
this earth
willing to
remains.
accept the
And may
religion
this
and
land
or
be
listen to
evangelist
it.
the
You know,
world.
no,
May
I don't have
all
to
who
accept
see this
anything.
cross remember
But
what
I want to
he
hear
has done
the border
May those
message,
who come
right?
to
That's what
inhabit
I'm sifting
join
through
us
the
in this
religion
covenant.
to
Lord,
hear the
we
border
join you in
message,
this
but
covenant.
I don't mind hearing
Father God,
positive
that our country was
message. You know what I mean? Even if it's
according to your
religious
word.
message, I don't
We
mind a
honor the
positive
cross
message.
that represents the blood of Jesus Christ and his covenant with us. We further remember the sacrifices the colonists made, and we join the colonists in carrying out the 1607 First Landing Covenant of Dedication, which has become the cornerstone of America's foundation. We declare that America will be
well, you
one
can kind of see what's
nation
going on.
under God.
Like, look at
Luke
Ant is
13:34.
giving a sky vision there.
And
Probably
a
just
beacon
talking
of hope to the
to
world.
chat.
From generation to
Soup Mama
generation,
and everybody else
and
is
from
pretty much
sea
on this
to shining sea, so
stage.
help us God. Okay, who drove the farthest to get here or flew the farthest to get here? Let's start with another country. Okay, yell it out to me.
Oh, they got in a fist fight outside with that official street preacher? Is that what happened?
Anybody come from another continent?
Oh, maybe that's what you guys were trying to
Canada?
tell me there earlier, that there was some video that we were trying to look at.
Where? The
Beta
Philippines.
Boys.
Wow, okay. There you go. Anybody from
Right where I'm sitting, right here, is Beta Boys 1.0.
Argentina?
Up there is Master Grifter.
Okay.
Then in the corner over on that side
I've got two of
is...
these bad boys that
Man, why
Robert
can't I
Gucci
see it?
designed. So Argentina and Philippines, come on up and let us bless you with these documents.
Can't see it. DOA. Soup Mama, Bruce Levings, and First Responder. Let's see. First Responder is over here.
Okay. Philippines,
Beta Boys
you can
over
meet me over here at my book table, right on the left side of the truck, and I'll give it to you, okay? By the way, anybody who wants to know how to pray according to our Constitution in the Bible, Pray America Great, my book table right over there.
Donica, hold on. Don't run off this stage. This is another person who was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, I'll send you someone. Sent me a Donica Hudson. This woman is incredible. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read your bio here. I want people to know who you are. Did you talk about any of this?
Oh, got that right. Yeah, I had him up there earlier, and then he went down.
Okay, go to
Our good friend,
DonicaHudson.com. You can find it all there. It's amazing. DONICA. Donica
Patriots
Hudson.
Lab.
She's the founder of IHP
Yeah, let me get
Global
him in there.
Ministries
Yeah.
Incorporated and
Let's get him
Truth
interviewing
Network.
some people too.
Sounds cool. In 2015, she and her husband filed a lawsuit. Oh, this is good.
Okay, hang
against
on.
the federal
Give me a minute.
government for not
Get 'em up
protecting their children in bathrooms, locker rooms, and showers during North Carolina's infamous bathroom bill battle, which landed her a speaking spot on the CWSA Women's for Trump bus. That would get you on the bus, wouldn't it? She fought and won. Donica, I can totally see you doing it too. Oh my goodness. Okay, she became Charlotte's go-to media person for the faith-based community when she created and hosted Charlotte Alive TV show on revival and spiritual awakening here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and South Africa. South Africa keeps those pesky South Africans. They do civil covenants. That's another thing. God has been sending us men and women from South Africa. There's something going on there. I'm telling you. Highway of holiness.
It talks about tracing the ancient routes of salvation. Well, we have a mutual friend, Pastor Andre Vainal from Hermanus, South Africa, and he talks about this highway of holiness that came over here where the Moravians came to America. So there's something about tracing the ancient routes of salvation and the civil covenants that called upon God.
Pastor Andre had a prophecy about Texas, didn't he? Something about coming out of Garland, Texas, and double portions.
Okay, here's Patriots Lab. Let's just hear what this sounds like.
Germany, he was killed because he was speaking out against what the government in Germany was doing.
He always has a kind of a barrel
In fact,
audio.
I read another book that William Fetter wrote.
I'm over at her house.
His name has a website called The American Minute. William Fetter. And he said that if any of y'all heard the first landing 1607, this is important. I'm about to tie Hitler had a black shirt. And Hitler would have these people go out and had the bidding. Had call them, what they call it, idiots. Right. Do his bidding. But when the idiots found out they would be manipulated by Hitler, they hated Hitler more.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of hard to hear him there.
A friend come up to us and say, "Hey, I'm supposed to go down to this cross and pray, use this Founder's Bible and read a
We're dealing with consumer technology there, consumer phones, whatever.
Sounds cool. Let's go do it, right? So we're down
technology
there.
is not perfect.
Man, I felt a move of the Holy Spirit when we got down in that scene. I started recording.
Like even with my, iPhone 12 or whatever it is there, when you're sitting there doing a face cam, it works good. You switch it over to the other cam, where you're looking at something, and you try and record somebody that's talking. The mic just doesn't pick up the guy's audio all that well. It's like, they need two mics on these phones, one on either side of the camera, and then when you switch, it switches the mic. Problem is you have to have an outboard mic to hear this kind of stuff decently. So whatever, that's a problem.
God moved in an incredible way. I didn't. I was like, what is this place? What is going on here? I didn't know the history because they don't tell you about first landing 1607. They don't tell you about the covenant. They tell you about 1620, the Plymouth, Massachusetts, Mayflower Compact, and all of that, right? They tell you about Jamestown, the first colony that was established. What they don't tell you is 2 weeks prior to finding Jamestown.
Would non-Christians feel welcome included? You're saying probably not, just saying. I don't think they're excluding anybody from being there, but it's got a religious flair to it. It's kind of a revival event. I would think that anyone, regardless of who you are, would be welcome. They're not saying, they're not checking your religion at the gate, put it that way. But that being said, people that are more Christian are probably going to attend the event knowing that it's a Christian event, right? Like I don't see too many Muslims hanging around there, for example, right? Because it's not a Muslim event.
It's supposed to come out of Virginia. It's like Virginia.
But on the other hand, if it's a non-secular event, one that doesn't have any religious element to it, then anybody would show up, Muslim, Christian, whatever.
That's right where we
makes no difference.
Back to God.
But yeah.
Are you leading a convoy from Virginia Beach down?
It is what it is. Put it this way: any religion can watch. Doesn't matter who you are or what you are, he can watch the message, because what's their message? Let's find out. Let's hear what that message is.
And I said, sign me up, how can I help? So it's so incredible, and we're talking about broken covenants. Donica, thank you, sister, for coming up here. I'm gonna need you.
Well, it's more than one event. It's like about 3 different events at 3 different locations. We've got DOA on the bottom, who's live, who's mobile. He's at the event that's happening in San Diego. You've got this event happening in Texas, and whatever else there is happening out there, we'll find out.
The United States shall guarantee to every state of the Union a Republican form of government. Not Democratic, by the way. Republican. Right? We used to be a republic. Now we're United States of America Incorporated. What happened in 1871? Do we all have an understanding of that? What happened in 1871? We need to go back to being a republic.
Cosmic confusion.
And shall protect each of them against invasion. Talking about the states. And on application of a legislator or of the executive, when the legislator cannot be convened against domestic violence. Article 4, Section 4. Governor Abbott, finally nice to see him getting involved doing something about this. Better late than never. Ken Paxton, he's supporting this. He wrote that letter I think y'all are all familiar with. January 24th. He said the federal government has broken the compact between the United States and the states. That word compact, it's a covenant that was established between the federal government and the states. They've broken that covenant. Says the executive branch of the United States has a constitutional duty to enforce federal laws protecting the states, including immigration laws on the books right now. President Biden has refused to enforce those laws and have even violated them. The result is that he has smashed records for legal immigration. I'm not going to read this whole letter, but I am going to read this right here. In failure of Biden administration to fulfill the duties imposed by Article 4, Section 4 has triggered Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3, which reserves to this state
Julie Miller, good to see you. Marjo, coming in from Finland, good to see you.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for staying
Cynthia,
up for me.
thanks for subbing.
Doing your job that we elected you for, or we paid you for. For these reasons, I have already declared an invasion under Article 1, Section 10, Clause 3 to invoke Texas constitutional authority
Tracy, hey, big
to
ups.
defend and protect itself. That authority is the
Yeah,
supreme
JLR.
law
I
of the
saw
land
that.
and supersedes any federal statutes. Statutes are not law.
Travel Fund will be going live.
Statutes have nothing to do with our Constitution.
Hey,
The Texas National Guard,
Kodak,
Texas
White.
Department of Public Safety, and other Texas personnel are acting on that authority as well
Thanks
as
for the
state
big
law
ups.
to secure our Texas border. Thank you for all those that are serving the National Guard that are down there protecting our border. Thank you to the Department of Public Safety right now that are working so hard at putting their lives on the line.
I like the play on words, by the way.
The people of this state and other Texas
Very
personnel.
inventive.
We're so thankful for all that they are doing right now.
Dave
We have
Kruk.
a gentleman that's going to come and share. Something interesting has just happened. Weston Martinez here. He's a Texas conservative leader, voter fraud expert. That's a problem, isn't it?
Kinch.
How can we elect the right people if the machines are all... That's got to change. Border security expert.
It happened.
And he ran Al Sharpton
Over in France.
off the border. Oh, you ran... That's right. You ran Al Sharpton off the border. I was like, you're running with Al Sharpton. That's awesome. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about the situation out there. Let us know. Weston Martinez, thank you for joining us today.
Well, God bless Texas. Let me tell you what, give a hand to the AGs and everybody else that's been
Kodachrome.
involved in this. You know, we were at an event the other day in San Antonio, Texas.
And
the
at Park,
Illegal Center.
good
Nobody
point.
heard about it.
If you know that, you know, like I've watched Beta Boys for a long time. I don't know his religious background,
Right there,
but you know,
downtown San Antonio. That's right. I'm from the home of the
yeah,
Alamo, where we know how to
he's
fight.
sort of
And let me
Beta
tell you
Boys
what,
goes
those
against the
people,
grain, but he's
they were
you know
just-
viewable,
honestly,
watchable,
they were pretty much,
interesting
I went
guy.
to college on a bull riding scholarship, so they're just kind of like
I don't know what happened to him.
you know,
His
they're wannabes that
feet
ain't never
just
gonna
went
be.
down there. Hang on,
Some of y'all get that. And I tell you what,
I guess
they
their feeds are
100%
dropping.
just got a little stupid, and so I took the microphone and I said, let me talk to these people for a minute. And I told them about some of the illogical things they had done, and they were getting mad. And then, kind of like, again, you know, when you're bull riding, sometimes you just kind of slide and ride is what we say, and you just kind of have that moment in your brain where it's like, all right, it's time to go. Ladies and gentlemen, please have your attention toward the stage. The only reason I did that is because what I did next, I never thought on my wildest dreams that I would make those people so angry by doing the following.
I didn't see that.
Please join me
Seeker of
in
Truth.
standing and uncover
But
as we
interesting.
do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ooh.
Yeah, Peachy King.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Don't run around naked.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
If you come out.
with liberty and justice for all.
They all wear the same clothes, you know.
From all y'all from Colorado,
They've got the same
Texas
outfit,
flag is
just,
honor the Texas
you know,
flag.
multiples
I
of
pledge
them.
allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible, and I like to add the word nation at the end of it. Y'all can be seated if you can.
Good to see everyone new in
Ladies and
here,
gentlemen,
too.
We've got a bigger problem here than what
Lots
we
of
really
new people
realize.
in here.
And when I'm
Big
done
ups to
talking,
everyone
you're
new.
gonna be upset and
You'll
you're
be
gonna
coming back
motivated.
again if you
Because
sub up to
all
us
you're
there.
going to do is sit here today that we have truly wasted your effort and our effort, and we want to thank you for everything you have done to bring people out here today. What we're talking about here in the great state of Texas is a secure border, a secure country. Now, how many of y'all know that D.C. can fix all kinds of things if they wanted to, right? Except, you know, finding out.
I can almost keep up to the chat with that 1 minute thing
They
on.
don't talk about that, do they?
Almost.
Well, let me tell you. Number one, I have a telecom company, and I put a permit out in the front that said we're doing design access work for 3,000 feet in both directions. So all of y'all are contractors for part of my company, which is why you parked here today. So God bless you. God bless Texas.
Can we find that channel?
And
Rudd,
those people that
if
are
anyone
out
can
there,
find that channel that you're talking about, like Troy or GGAP, see if you can find that channel that Rudd is talking about right there, at Mama Earth, streaming the convoy to Yuma from San Ysidro. If we can find that streamer, drop a link and I'll put it up. If you guys can do a little legwork, that would be great. Thank you.
Put our citizenship
Find a new streamer.
that and goes out of its way to say how we are individual citizens. Article 1, Section 1, that's right, of the Texas Constitution. Sam Houston had a great idea, and that was to protect the sovereignty of this nation, this country, the state of you. Just like you have sovereignty, our state has sovereignty. But let me tell you something that's going to make you mad. I have a solution to secure the border right now that doesn't cost us a dime. There's a treaty.
Yeah, we got Soup Mama up there. Let me put her on the big screen there, or on one of the top right streams there.
70,000 acre-feet of water into the river every single year.
Here's Soup Mama.
That border field, 70,000 feet high of water. That's how much water per year Mexico is supposed to put into the Rio Grande River.
Which is a good
it's
thing.
about to get real. And they're 5 years behind.
422 in the room.
Guess how much money it costs us to make them fill up that river? Nothing. By the way,
people on
we're
Facebook.
not required to put water into the Gulf of Mexico, ecologically or legally. We can dam it up today, turn it into the Panama Canal, in human trafficking overnight. That's right.
Thanks for watching
That's
on
why
Facebook.
we have 15,000 18-wheelers a day crossing in Laredo, Texas. And that's why San Antonio is absolutely the epicenter, and Houston, the epicenter of human trafficking and drug trafficking in our country, because it's all coming in our front door.
No one is afraid of Christian people.
When we look at securing those borders, what happens? Well, wait a minute. We're going to have a lot of tax dollars not spent and wasted. How many of y'all voted for a bond that was you didn't want to vote for because they're just wasting our money? A bond election. They use them to build roads and bridges. A lot of times they use them for just pet projects. Well, your roads wouldn't degrade as much. Why? Because you don't have 15,000 18-wheelers a day crossing through the highways. Every state is a border state. Every state is a border state. And if we don't secure the elections, we will never secure the border. Ever. And when we're on that subject, when we're looking at what's
big
happening,
nuts.
I'll tell you another interesting thing. How many of y'all have seen the wall when you've been driving by? And then when you looked at it, you said, well,
We
what's
love
all
him,
that green
retired
grass
guy.
over there?
He's great. I know.
Floodplain. Guess what you can't build on? Floodplain. Guess where you can put water?
Yeah, I wonder if you see this on mainstream media anywhere.
Folks, these people in D.C., they don't want to solve the problem because you can't raise money off of a solved problem.
Chris Ryan, the whole thing
That is
here is to
exactly
bring
the
awareness to
problem.
the
And I'll tell you
open
what, a
borders.
couple of years
They're
ago-
not
Thank you.
proposing
Couple of years
any
ago,
solutions
been
with
involved in
this
voter fraud
event,
and this
but
stuff
it's
for a long time. I
awareness
created
at
a
this
bill
point.
that made
You know, like
voter fraud a felony in
maybe the
Texas.
solution part of it is
That's right. That was back like in
government should come up
2012.
with solutions,
We went through
right?
there,
But this
got
is an
through the
awareness
Senate, through
event,
the House.
I do
was
believe.
working against the Texas speaker, so I shouldn't have got nothing. And it got
But
all the way
we can
through.
hear about how
Read
open the
first
borders
time, read the
are,
second
you
time,
know,
and
by
it
the
died
guest
on
speakers
last
are going to be
reading of the
talking
Texas House of
on what it's
Shameful.
like.
That same year,
So we'll
we had
hear.
another epidemic of people coming over here, and I literally praying out loud, and I said, God, how do we put a price on the head of these coyotes like they're putting a price on the head of these innocent children they're smuggling across? Okay? All you media out there, we got nothing against these children that are being raped and sold into slavery of all kinds of unspeakable things. We got nothing against them. We got love for them, and we want to get them reconnected with their families where they belong. But I literally, God gave me the idea to make human trafficking a death penalty eligible offense. And And I looked up at the roof of my house, and I said, God, this is Texas. It's got to already be a death penalty offense. So, knowing a little bit about something, I looked up the law and read it, and guess what? It ain't. It's probably not in your state either. That same legislation session, same thing happened. Through the Senate, through the House, read once, read twice, died on the third reading. When that happened, folks, I knew that we had a bigger problem in our country than I could ever fathom. And right then,
well, I don't think Trump is against religion.
The sentence.
You know, even if he might not be religious himself, which I don't know. He is pro-religion. You know, he's not anti-religion.
And you're either one or the other. And if you're Joe Biden and you're Joe Biden administration, you're connected to Mayorkas,
that are not on the right. Like the anti-religious or the non-religious or whatever seem to cling to the left talking points, I think.
Just like a lot of you. One, an oath to uphold the Constitution against all enemies,
religion and
foreign
politics
domestic.
should be
The
separate.
other, my oath as an ordained pastor. Why? Because we need people that know the Bible and the Constitution is exactly how this country
Chris
got
Ryan.
to where it's at.
By the way,
that's exactly
hey,
how we're
I see all of the thanks out there, and I do
Now, my
appreciate
buddy Sid
everyone
Miller, y'all know Sid
saying
Miller?
thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate
Texted
everyone
with
out
him
there.
this morning,
Thank you.
and I was telling him I was coming down here. He was going to try to be down here, but he's actually roping in the Fort Worth
It's great to
rodeo.
have the technology
So I
to be
think
able
he's gonna
to
win him another world
put this up
championship,
here
so
to
God
show
bless
you
Sid
what's
Miller,
going on here.
And he's an amazing friend. But let me tell you what we were talking about today. You're going to love this. How many of y'all think we should follow the rule of law? Yeah, me too. Well, interesting fun fact. If you go to the Texas legislature and you go look up a bill about fence cutting, it's against the law in Texas to cut a fence. Now, do y'all know anybody who I should consider filing criminal charges against for cutting a fence here in Texas? Y'all are my kind of crowd.
Lock him up.
Let me tell you what, we're going to find a way to put a criminal charge against Joe Biden and against Mayorkas for cutting fence in Texas. And let me tell you something else. You're going to love this. This is really unbelievable. I'm telling you, you're not even going to believe it. Come on, come on. The fact that fences, I'm reading directly from the Texas legislator, the fact that fences are being continuously destroyed in many parts of the state by lawless persons, and the penalty now fixed by law is not of sufficient magnitude to deter bills to be read several days. Meaning, this is such a big deal, we ain't got time to read it. We got to go in there and get it done right now. And when you look at that, the most beautiful thing is that one of the ladies, thank God for Texas women and thank God for conservative women, amen? They're the reason all you men got here on time, or got here at all. So they're citing a nice lady who lived here in Texas.
David Gordon.
And it's
big ups.
Y'all go ahead. The helicopter wants to get their shot real quick and turn it up. Turn on your video cameras, helicopter. We ain't afraid of you. In 1881, after her husband died from injuries sustained in a stampede, to address debt and other concerns, she reorganized this day cattle
smack
ranches.
that
Folks,
like button.
How many of y'all think we got a
Share us
stampede
out
on the border once again?
Appreciate it.
You see, that's what's going on. We are being stampeded. We have an emergency situation, and the federal government is not going to be here to help us. Ronald Reagan had it right. How many of y'all remember Ronald Reagan said one of the worst words you could hear from? Right? I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. No, sir.
Yeah,
not on my
national
watch.
crisis.
Now, look, there's a lot of other good speakers
Linda.
better than me that are going to be up here in a few minutes.
That's what I was thinking as well, Linda.
Remember,
those are the kind of thoughts that I would have on that subject.
are the solution.
Good point.
And before I leave, I'm going to close with this.
You might have heard of somebody from a place in my hometown in San Antonio at the Alamo. You might have heard of a commander named Commander William Travis. You might have heard of this letter he wrote right before the Battle of the Alamo took place.
It's hammer time. What the
And
dog
it reads like this. To the people of Texas and all Americans in the world, fellow citizens and compatriots.
El Hiriasca CLP 1000. Hey, can you put Spanish subs? Reading from Chile. Spanish subs? I don't know any Spanish subtitles or even how to turn anything like that on. If I could, I would. But thanks a lot for the 1,000 clips. Appreciate that. That's a big dono. 1,000. El Hiriasca. I don't know how to put up subtitles.
Patriotism and everything dear to the American character.
Can you go in the back room there and see if there's Spanish subtitles?
The enemy is receiving reinforcements daily.
I don't know
and
if
will no doubt increase to 3,000 or 4,000 in 4 or 5 days.
If they have that, let me look.
If this call is neglected, I am determined to sustain myself as long as possible and die like a soldier.
I don't know anything about that.
What is due to his own honor and that of his country. Victory or death. P.S. The Lord is on our side. When the enemy appeared in sight, we had no food, but we found some cattle round back, is the abbreviated version. God bless you guys. God bless Texas. Thank you to the AGs.
I cannot see anywhere in customization where I can
God bless those soldiers that are truly upholding their oath as
do
we celebrate
something with subtitles. I'm looking. Redirect.
Weston Martinez, everybody. Thank you, brother. We have another special guest. You see a guy riding around on a horse last night? There's something about a man on a horse, huh? Wish I had a horse to ride. Maybe. What's that?
I wish that I could
you
turn
got 2
on
horses?
subtitles for you.
2 phones. Oh, we got another phone. Somebody else lose their phone? All right. Well, if you did, come see us.
El Hiriasca. I can't do that because I don't know how. I wish I could. But thanks a lot for that. Siempre el domingo CLP 1000. Buenos dias. Down in Chile. One day I'll visit Chile. I'd love to visit Chile. Wow. I love all of the, antiquity.
Screened for Congress, yes, and was used as grassroots tool to help stop the 2007 amnesty plan. In 2022, he and former ICE Director Tom Homan. Anybody heard of a man named Tom Homan? He made the border film with Death.
Mic drop. Likes Chile. There
In
you
the
go.
River of Broken Dreams. Death
Everyone
Country
likes
and the
Chile.
River of Broken Dreams. Look it up. Type that in YouTube.
7 Vipe.
YouTube. It's all right there for you to watch. Death
Viper.
Country and the River
Are you
of Broken
a
Dreams.
Vindo Viper?
Which screened for
Or are you
Congress
Snake
in July
Viper?
2023. He also made the film Capital Punishment. That was a good one. Everything they told you about J6 was a lie.
Ren says, I'm not Christian. I never have a problem with anyone. I'm like you, Ren. You know, well, I am Christian, but I don't have a problem with Muslim people, for example, or talking or engaging or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I have Muslim friends, so some people, if you don't have friends, well, you don't know much about them, But thanks a lot.
I want to thank you for your service today. They use the term God's Army like there's something wrong with that. Because they've forgotten that this country was born because men and women believed that
Cutie says, if you go into your phone, you can turn on subtitles. That's how it works. On your device, you can turn on Spanish subtitles. So try and find that setting. Thank you for that, Cutie. Appreciate that.
To everyone. I was blessed to make the movie in 2005 about the border, Screen for Congress, because I naively thought if they saw the evil that was happening on the border because...
No está la opción de subtítulos. Agradezco de quienes me responderían. Ya el señor Tommy Temper.
Rape women and put their panties in the
Siempre en domingo.
as a trophy. We naively
Je ne
thought
sais
that
pas.
if we let the federal government know that American ranchers
Quoi
were
ne-
being vandalized and victimized,
Non parle
and that the violence that was coming
espagnol.
through, armed men in uniforms carrying automatic weapons, that if they knew this was
Cuesta
coming to America,
dias.
they would stop it. It was 2005. We were wrong. 2022, when Tom and I went to go screen that movie for Congress, every member of the Senate and the House was invited to come see it. You know how many members of Congress came to see the truth about what's going on in America? On
Apparently, it's on your phone.
And I thank Troy Nell
Let me see.
for hosting
Esta la opción de substituirlos es una iPhone or Android phone.
I saw in 2 days more foreign trained soldiers coming across the border than I'd seen in 18 years of work.
Heresia.
And when we interrogated them, we asked them in Spanish,
I'd
why
really
are you a soldier? What are you doing here? You were a soldier.
appreciate,
No soldado, no soldado. Dude, I saw the way you humped the rock. I saw you come through the wire. You got training.
being able to
What's up? Okay, I used to be a combat engineer, but now I just want to be a chef. And when you see, can't make it up. And when you see people
practice my Spanish there.
coming from,
Appreciate that.
from Honduras, coming from
What happened to
Venezuela, countries that don't like
who's
us.
that?
You have to ask yourself, why are all these trained men coming
Patriots
across the border
Uncensored. Looks
disguised
like he's
by
out
this
of the
massive
picture.
humanity that's camouflaging
I'll
our
go and
actions?
look for more feeds
That's
here.
something that concern every American. I want to thank you for being down
Travel
here
Fund
because
might be
as Christians,
our next one up here.
we're
Yep.
called to speak the truth. And that's something that if you're trying to control people is very dangerous to those in power. There's a reason why they make fun of calling yourselves God's army. Because as God's army being called to tell the truth, that means that your loyalty is to God. It's to the Constitution. And when those people took on the greatest superpower in the world back 245 years ago, they didn't win because they had better muskets or they had better boots. They won because they believed they were doing God's work, because our liberty does not come from the federal government. Our liberty comes from God. And when I say I thank you for your service, it's because of this. As God's army, for 3 years, the American people have been afraid to stand up and come together to rally and have their voices be heard under the First Amendment, right as freedom of speech. You've changed that today. A lot of people said, don't come down here. They may try to hijack it, the operation like they did in January 6th. But you came anyway. Why? Because God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power of love and sound mind. How many times in the Bible does God say, fear not?
Here's audio. We might hear
I was
Travel
gonna say
Fund 69
14 or
coming in on
17,
this
it's a
video
lot.
here. Top left.
They may try to hijack it, the operation like they did in January 6th.
That's
But you came
Jeff.
anyway. Why?
Travel Fund 69 on scene. Just went live. Got nice audio, stereo.
Does God say, fear not?
5570 on the sub counter.
So I didn't want to get misquoted. God bless you. Well, how have
Flabbergasted.
we gotten so
Going up
upside
quick.
down? The people that read their Bible every day, the people that pray to God, are demonized as the enemy. I'll tell you. Because if you understand fifth generation war,
Hopefully you got it working,
if you
cutie.
understand asymmetrical warfare,
That,
these are the people
subtitle.
with the hardest control because they stand for something.
You like that?
And if we
Good
don't all
French and
stand together,
Spanish.
we get knocked down. And all those of y'all that have never
Little
been to
bit of
Texas
everything.
before that are here today, I want to say welcome to Texas.
I'm sorry
Thumbs it up, guys. Appreciate it.
that you
Like,
couldn't
share,
find them,
subscribe.
Texas is a whole
or
other
that there wasn't one.
country. Well, we used to be, but now we're part of the Union. I
Unkillable.
haven't had time to look at social media much, but I see these things about Texas wants to start a civil war and Governor Abbott is doing this. I was just with the governor a few nights ago. Let me tell
That's
you
what it's all
Governor
about,
Abbott
Miss
wants to do.
Frosty.
He
Discourse.
wants the man in the White House to follow the
Discord.
law. He wants Joseph Robinson
Jeff Smith.
Biden
Thanks for the kind words.
to honor the treaty that we have with the United States of America that says we become part of the Union, you protect us.
Oh, okay. For some reason they're not available. Maybe because it's alive, and it takes a bit for them to, because I know maybe that's what it is. When you're going back in a video that's saved, you can go in, or when you're uploading a video, you can, you know, turn on that feature maybe. But maybe a live is too quick, I don't know.
Knowledge is power. And we are engaged right now in the greatest information war.
If you look at Tommy Temper on Facebook, you might have that option, because I am live on Facebook. Just find me on Facebook, and you'll see my video on there. And you might have that option on Facebook for subtitles, because I know I see subtitles all the time on Facebook popping up there.
We are all being used and played against each other. You think about it. You go to our churches. When we are in church, we have black people, white people, everybody's together, okay? Why do they want to take us apart? Because God unites and man brings us apart. They want us divided because out of chaos they grab power. When Rahm Emanuel told you, never let a good crisis go to waste, that's nothing to what's going on now. Let's create the crisis, and then we'll grab power. I don't want to take up too much time here, but if you watch Border from 20 years ago, if you go watch Death County Broken Dreams, if you follow us on hisglory.me, we will keep bringing the truth of what's going on. I'm going to just share a few truths with you that I've encountered on the border. And I want you, please, in the media, please let America and the world know this is what's going on in the border. This is a battle between good and evil, and it has been sold to the American people as a generosity of human spirit. What is happening on the border is against a crime of humanity. Every day that that border is open, people are dying. And I'm not just talking about the dead illegal aliens that I've picked up on my buddies' ranches here in Texas. I'm not talking about the people that have been murdered in our pastures down here by the cartels because they were a problem. I'm talking about the women from the rape trees. I'm talking about women that I've sat with. And if you've ever seen a rape victim, I never had until I started working the border. And so broken that it's hard for them to even speak, to even get a sentence. And the second girl I saw was about 15, 16 years old. She couldn't even stand up and look in the eye. She'd been so humiliated. The cartel's coyote, the scout, had raped her in front of all these people. And she was so scared. And this scout, he was just laughing because he knew he was going to get turned in, he was going to go out the next day, and he wasn't going to get touched for this because everybody in that group that the cartels brought over, every one of those people knew that if they spoke up and reported what he did to that girl, their family would be killed. That's the
where I live up here, I think it's the same distance to Hawaii or Costa Rica or Cuba or whatever. Canadians fly to Cuba because Canada and Cuba have, they're buddies. We can get into Cuba, no problem. I don't know that I would like to go to Cuba because get in a communist jail, that wouldn't be cool if you ever got put in it.
Groups are still coming in. And a group came in, it was a woman,
meanwhile,
a teenage girl, about 6
a Hawaiian jail would be more comfortable than a Cuban jail, I think. Just saying.
An African-American child.
Probably fewer drugs in the Cuban jail, though.
And she ran and she started crying. And the reason she started crying wasn't because she was happy that she got into the currents of the Rio Grande. The reason she was crying is because she knew that I knew that that was not her kid, and that she was trafficking these children into the United States of America.
Okay. I'll be right back. I need to get a bite to eat here. Gotta go and cook something up here. I'll be back.
Biden, back around 2015 or so, go on a campaign in Central America saying, "Give us your kids"? Was he ever on the front page of newspapers in Central America saying, "Refugios de menores will give refuge to your children"? See if he did that. Then ask yourself, why do we have 365,000 unaccompanied children in the United States of America under this administration? 365,000 children have come here without their parents. Add on top of that, 86,000 more that they've lost. How does something like that happen? In the old days, when we find these groups of kids, Border Patrol would come in, they arrest the cartel guys, they take the kids to a Fleecy detention center. Somebody would come in and they say, "Oh, I'm his tio," or "I'm her tia, I'm his aunt." And they would fill out paperwork to get the kids. When Trump came into office, he put up DNA biometric testing. You took a DNA test, and if your DNA didn't match that kid, you didn't get that kid. Well, guess what happened on the Biden administration?
They stopped doing that. So I ask you, where are those 86,000 children, media? I ask you to ask the administration to prove that they're not being sex trafficked or they're not working in processing centers across there. It is a crime of humanity what is happening down here. And again, as I said, I'm not going to talk about the dead bodies I've carried out as pastors in Texas, but I will talk to you about something that happened 2 summers ago. There was a couple up from Africa, and they had a 15, 16-month-old child with them, a daughter. Coming across the river, current hits them, starts to carry him away. Border Patrol comes in and rescues him. Dad drowns. They save the mom. They get the baby breathing. They life flight her out, where she dies at the hospital. 4 physicians examined this little girl. She had been anally and vaginally raped so many times that her privates were just a bloody mess. And in the investigation afterwards, they found for the group that came over with her that that was part of the price they paid to the cartels for letting them do that to the little daughter to get them over.
Pretty nasty.
That is evil on such a level that we can't imagine that. But if America knew what the evil was on the border, America would rise up together and say, this is evil, this is bad, we must stop this. That medical examiner is under a gag order not to talk about that. Says, Chris, I can't tell you. I can't tell you who the gag order's from, but I will lose my job if I talk to you about what happened to that little girl. But you can come down to my morgue, and I'll talk to you about the 3 or 4 other little kids I have sitting on shelves down here. This is what our reality is in Texas. You go over here to Brooks County, Falfurrias, Texas, 73 miles north of the border.
OG Billy Blue, thank you.
Had to buy their own portable morgue to put in his parking lot. And the last time I was there, that morgue was full of people that had died and been killed by cartels coming across just in his county alone, 73 miles north of the border. That is happening every day. If everybody knew Dr. Mike Vickers and saw what he and his wife go through, they would say, hey, we need to bring law and order to the border. We need to stop this battle of good and evil. I mean, we get up in the morning, we get out of our houses, you know, I go down to my ranch, I feed the horses, you guys probably get in your cars, you go to work. Doc Vickers gets out of his house, and there's a woman murdered by the cartels laying right there. Everything I'm saying is documented. Go look at Death County, the River Broken Dreams, me and Tom Homan. You'll see the pictures, you'll see the video. And ask yourself, why isn't America talking about this? Why is it when we take a movie like that to Congress to show them the facts about what happened here in Texas, to show them the facts about why do we have all these children coming across the border in this administration? Only 3 members of Congress came to see that movie. They didn't even send their staffers. And that, to me, we are the people. They work for us. And if we say there's evil happening down here, please investigate it, please do something about it, then we expect them to do their jobs. Just like Governor Abbott expects Joe Biden to do his job and protect us from invasion. And I know I'm rambling. My wife is a very smart woman. She tells me I do it all the time, and she's right.
OG Billy Blue SR Super
I
Shattered
would just like to ask you to have
Great
everybody
job,
know
Jeff.
pray for discernment. As I said before, this is the greatest information war this country's ever been involved in. And there's people spinning right now. Y'all from the media, from the other parts of the country, you see who Texans are. You see who's come down to join us. These people are fearless. These people have put faith over fear. These people have put freedom over fear. And we're so happy that you came down to tell these stories. I pray for you guys in the media. Please just tell the truth. That's all we ask. Because the truth is never afraid of a lie, and a lie can never stand up to the truth.
That's right.
Heavenly Father, we know that where you bring 2 or more of us together, you are present. And Lord, we have a lot more than 2 of us here together. And we ask you to bring your spirit into this place, Heavenly Father. We ask you to soften the hearts of those that would seek to do darkness to this country. We ask you, Father, to lift up the warriors of truth. Send these journalists out, Lord, that they may be armored to go to their bosses, to go to the networks and say, this is what happened. This is what's going on. I saw it. I met people from all over the world, and these are their stories. Please, Father, let these stories go out. You said, Father, that if we would humble ourselves, if we would repent from evil, if we would seek your face, if we would pray, that you would heal this nation.
I ask you, Lord, not only heal this nation, I ask you, Father, to claim this land for your glory and for everything that's being done, Father, for your glory. I ask you, Father, put on the full armor of God to every one of us, because things are going to get rougher. Not because we want them to, but because the truth is coming out. The truth is going to make a lot of people angry. And I love you guys because my wife and I started reporting on the border, everybody thought we were crazy. And we told them, and we came back, and we said, they're Americans, they're living in fear. There are women, they're being raped. There are children, they're being lost. And they tried to make us sound like we're crazy. And now it's too big. The evil has gotten too large. You all see it. Heavenly Father, expose the darkness. Bring us into the light. And carry every one of these people safely home to their home and their families. In Jesus' name, Father. Amen.
Amen.
It's a good man right there. A praying man is a good man. Thank you, Chris. It's a Burgard. Wow. Heroes.
Awesome.
True American
Very
heroes.
Very
We got
powerful.
another one of those heroes about to come up here right now.
Hit the thumbs up, guys. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Try to on my phone. We got a commander. We got a Navy commander coming up here. U.S. Navy Commander Jay Furman. Running for Texas Congressional District 28. Jay retired from 28 years. 28 years, District 28. Did you play in that? Retired 28 years of military service and was a leading military veteran.
Sometimes on the journey to finding ourselves, we have to make room for adventure.
Came home to Texas and knew his service and sacrifice to our nation wasn't over. All these men continue to serve. They retire, they just can't help themselves.
Sure, yeah.
Thank God for that. Being a multi-generational Texan, his roots to this land run deep. His duty is to God, his family, his country, and always Texas. Jay knows first that the battle on the border, Jay knows first had the battle on the border. I think my wife typed this wrong.
She does have a broken arm.
He knows all about the battle on the border is the point. That's why he's here today. And he has experience to stop the invasion and prepare for what is next. Please help me welcome retired Commander Jay Furman.
Thank you, Robert. Kind intro. Jamie, appreciate you guys and what they're doing. Let's hear it for Robert and Jamie and all this crowd here. In the military or the Navy, we call it just in time. Just in time. And we are right there just in time because we don't have any time left, folks. So I am running for a congressional seat down in South Texas. It's Texas Congressional 28. It's a 110-year Democrat-ruled district. It's a chink in our armor. It's LBJ's old district, and the guy that's been there 20 years, a 96% voter with the Biden administration. He's got to go. So I thought I was done. I thought I was done with the military, and I was going to move on to other pastures after about 28 years. And then they issued the vaccine mandate. And I knew I wasn't done. I sat up straight in bed that night, and I didn't stop writing until I had a white paper done that nobody wanted to read. Nobody in leadership wanted to hear it. And so it may have found its way over to Darren Beatty and Revolver.News. And it may have gone viral, and Tucker may have put me on, and I may have taken a risk, but I don't care, because we were making a very dumb strategic mistake. At the time, half the service members had chosen, with bad information, my opinion, had chosen to get the shot, but half had not. So I said, take a knee, operational pause, let's keep a control group. I was trying to make a rational argument that killed everybody, no matter what they felt in the vaccine, just for the sake of the nation. When I got home from Tucker, I had a black Suburban from my house, and I was tailed for the rest of the time on the way up the service, and my phone has not been my own since. Tactics, procedures that I was used to overseas were being deployed against me because they ripped off the word foreign on their operational mandate for the last 20 years, been using the global war on terrorism, and slapped on domestic and pointed it at you. Pointed it at me with a current top secret clearance. So that's offensive. That's communist. I've helped our allies defend their borders for the last 28 years. And I come home here on a project after I got out from the vaccine mandate turn against the troops moment, down here on the border with an NGO and child sex trafficking, and I was even more worried. Because we have here on the southwest border today's Maginot Line. Every enemy of significance against the United States is massing on our border with not our friend Mexico. Plenty of friendly Mexicans, but the palace in Mexico City is absolutely owned by Mexico or by Beijing. The Russians have been there for years. We used to study this in the Cold War, but now we're supposed to forget it because our politicians are bought off on staying in power, replacing our sovereignty with new voters. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce and everybody else that's screaming about no workers and high wages want to replace and lower wages, your money. But they bought a lie because the communist powers out of China and others that they're working with have corrupted our politicians. So now it's, I call it cartel capitalism. It goes from D.C. to Mexico City, begins in Beijing, they pick up Tehran on the way. And look, we're all looking at the border because since 2019, all the conservatives have been on their back feet. All the patriots have been reactionary. I'm sorry. I'm blaming myself on that. But since the pandemic,
okay, so
since the
on the
vaccine
screen here
Trojan
right now,
horse, since the remdesivir death shot, since the fake
on the
election,
bottom left, we've got
since
Anthony
January
Aguero
6th false flag operation,
down by the border
keep
looking
flipping the
for
script on
some
us.
illegal aliens.
I've been
And both
part
of those shots down at the bottom
or
are like border type shots. Everything else is like rally
overseas.
shots here in
The
Texas.
same playbook's being run here, folks. So when I came off the border, I said, yeah, child sex trafficking is terrible. Worst thing you can imagine. Those are just economic verticals for the people trying to unwind us stitch by stitch. Those are just fueling our demise as a nation. When I say it's an existential threat, it is a near, clear, and present danger threat because the enemies are among us now. So quit looking at the border, lock it down, but look inside the country and understand that the enemies are in these human bombs that come in here. And I feel bad for most of the unwitting ones. We're absolutely paying for that. And every one of them are unfunded mandates if we get past November. So look, my family lived in Europe when this happened to Europe, and the northern Iraqis and the Syrians were pushed out by Russia and Turkey. This has been used 84 times in modern history to kill countries or attempt to kill countries. These are illegal weapons of mass destruction. Human bombs get foisted into unwitting populations, especially the West, who want to help. Like Specialist Bishop Evans, who dove in to the Rio Grande to save, turns out, traffickers, drug smugglers, but he was doing his duty to save and protect, and died. And you know who laughed at him on the bank shore as they pulled him up? The people he went in after. I'm not kidding. I know personal witnesses to that. So that's what we're dealing with. It's pure evil down there. On the other side of the border, we have people that worship Satan, Santa Muerte. They have idols all over our country hidden. MS-13 and everybody else are out there, and they're meant to intimidate us. Do not fall for the communist tactics. These guys that are among us are going to try to disrupt what we have going. Right here. Trying to take back our country. We are in full, total spectrum warfare almost. It's certainly hybrid. It's certainly asymmetric. But we are in 5th generation warfare. You've heard that term. That is real. It's happening to us, and not enough people know it. Too many people think it's a Statue of Liberty Ellis Island welcoming the new poor huddled masses to America. They are poor huddled, but they're also broken on arrival. Everyone is still owned by the cartel. They never pay that debt. They enter into modern American slavery. Maybe we can call this our second original sin. But we're doing this to ourselves. And it's happening in plain sight. That's the best way to hide things, folks. Hide things in plain sight. Well, I tell you what, there's a reason for everything they're doing. So they're attacking us through the schools. The shock and awe thing, as far as the most offensive things, are meant to keep you on your back foot while they slide things in. Texans, you should know about House Bill 1605 that was passed in the spring. While we're worried about gender switching bathrooms, they're passing legislation that consolidates all Texas school curriculum into one office in Austin under one guy. Same time, they did this in 14 states across the country. I predict they're going to try to put those all together and try to expand that. No textbooks. The parents can look at what they're doing 1 month before school starts, and then your access is gone. All right, this is the insidious thing, or an example of the things they're doing to try to unwind us. We have to be active. And so what I say, now is the time. We may not make it to November, folks. Look forward for what's coming. Don't take the bait. So tie in with your communities, tie in with your churches. Let me stop there for a second. Go back to church. If you haven't been to church ever, reach out and find somebody that has. Open your Bible. That's how we began. That's how we will continue. If we don't, we are finished. All the stuff we talk about, land, liberty, prosperity, that's a Band-Aid unless we have the things that inform that. Now, I'll give you an outside perspective. When we were doing this thing as a country back in the 1800s, and France was on its, I don't know, third republic or something, they sent a guy over here to figure out how we did this, how we were doing America, how it was working, how we were the most prosperous country overnight almost for human history. So French philosopher Tocqueville came in and he did a whole site survey of America, toured the whole thing, and he came back, and I'll distill what he said. He said, we can't do this in France because we're doing it top down, which is where we're headed right now, folks. They do it from the bottom up, from church corner to church corner. They have one in every corner because these people have governance in their hearts. Our system and form of government does not work externally. That's a police state. We are the light or the beacon on the hill. We are the essential nation of the world because of that center core. Now, I'm not being a Christian nationalist. I'm just saying that's what's made us tick. So call it what you want. That's been the secret sauce. All right? So looking forward again, guys, I ask you to call back to your communities, get with your families, go to church, do organic networking, fortify your castles for whatever may come, be ready to defend it to the tooth and nail, but be careful, because I will make a prediction. Every nation that has experienced kind of these tremors has had one thing that's happened before they've really taken the nosedive off the cliff. There it is. So do not take the bait to step out in the street and go offensive. That will be turned against us. My prediction, one guy. Happened to Australia when they lost their guns 10 years ago. Anybody know what happened to them during COVID? Anybody following that on alternative news? Friends in Australia of mine said it was 10 times worse. And that's a Western nation, one of our best allies in the world. If it can happen in Australia, it can happen here.
Everyone. Tommy Temper
Protect
here.
your families.
You're watching the Tommy Temper Show, and I'm located in Alberta, Canada, and it's like a very, very nice day. That's what it looks like right where I actually am, and I'm enjoying my day, and I'm enjoying the broadcast here so far. It looks pretty cool. I like it. I hope you like it. Let's continue on.
I am as red-blooded as anybody. I've served
Let's watch for our keynote
all my
speakers
life, my
to show
family,
up.
all the way back to this nation's founding has served. But I'll tell you, right now, let's flip the script. Let's do an MLK on them
Rebel News,
and lean
yeah,
into
for
it
the
with
win.
love at first. If it
Yeah,
comes to
Alberta,
it,
says
if it
David.
comes to it, all right, let's do it. But be careful. I was
Link
there
and
January
Mark.
6th, doing a little
Good to see
PT.
ya.
running around the watching
the
things.
show here today. Quite
Okay.
interesting.
Active duty commander. Walking my dog, just kind of doing some PT around the area, observing. I'm scared what's coming. I have an ominous feeling what's coming. I'm looking for backpack bombs. I notice all the police are busted above the castle together. I don't know, eating donuts or something. Nobody's in the crowd. It's the most peace-loving crowd I've ever seen. And I went home that night and posted on Facebook. A public post is still there. But what I started to notice is something I noticed throughout the second half of my career. First half a flyer, pilot, second half a foreign area officer. And I went into weird places trying to work the American interests together where our interests align and had to read the human terrain. All of a sudden, people started moving to the front. Hardly noticeable, but they started moving to the front, coordinated, civilian comms, dressed nondescript or for the crowd, and converge on the point, and then the barriers go. Okay? So I'll leave that how it is. I saw plenty of people walking back that day, hiding their MAGA gear and exfilling out of the area. Just kind of blending in the crowd and fading away. All right? So folks, get informed, strengthen your communities, strengthen your families, go back to church, and do the American thing so that we can save this country together. So we can do the essential thing. It has to be from the ground up. France is still struggling. We're not. We are the heartbeat of the world. So for Texans, and for South Texans especially, because the Alamo is in my district, Texas is America's Alamo. We have to hold the line right here, and we have to do it right. We have to be smart and wise. We have to be connected and organized, not just mad and pissed off. We have to put that to action today. So I have a thing, so I'm not a politician, even though I talk a lot up here. That bothers the heck out of me, just people talking all the time. But listen, if you go to my website, we're trying to do operational things to get after this now. So my themes are land, liberty, property, but each one of those has a course of action. For example, the land, which means borders, protect our sovereignty, has something called Operation Polites. We're launching a platform, we're ingesting people right now to join, that will help every one of you be part of the solution, take that back a little bit of power. Whenever you encounter something with the border, you see a guy walking on the side, you hear about something with a friend, record it. You walk up on something very unfortunate, you see a bailout if you live down here, record it. Register into our platform because we are creating a photo referendum of the worst and then the daily drum of the border problem so that we can point that towards DC, work around mainstream media and say, look, the border community, which is every community right now, says we're enough. This is what we experience. You can't debate it. It's right here. These 300,000 people, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, do you agree with us? What do you want to do with this? Oh, no? Okay, I'll snap poll right now. All right, that's what we're doing. We're doing direct action, public activism in this campaign. We are launching that in this campaign now. We can't wait to November.
Like, I don't know many of the people here at all. They're kind of
South Texas, District 28.
people.
Thank you all for coming.
If you know what I mean.
Brother, you didn't tell me the Alamo's in your district. I would have given you 10 more minutes.
Pretty much the leaders or the people that, thought this up and put it on are, from a religious background, religious leaders, whatever,
in protecting
of different
our nation
groups
here
even,
and our interests abroad is of men of faith that are serving for our military. So thank you, brother. Thank you for your service. Thank you. By the way, support this man. You see that awesome hat, and that shirt? They're right over here. Him and I think it's his lovely wife, maybe? Campaign manager. Okay, so please support him. Buy a shirt. There's cool shirt. Come and take a shirt. Come and take it hats. All right, the Texas hats. Support them before we buy other stuff. Support our candidates. Support our candidates, okay? All right. Let's see. I had an order of business. Where am I at? All right. Anybody bring sunscreen? How are y'all doing out there? You all right? All of us are going to be burnt because it's supposed to be winter. We've been sitting inside the past several months, and
This is Texas. This is Texas winter. How do y'all like that? Any of y'all from the north? Way north? Saw some guy came down here from Idaho, I think it was, northern Idaho. He said practically Canada. He's down here in shorts. He's like, I like this. I like it too. All right. We've got another amazing gentleman. He, both Commander and Ryan spoke at our event in Dripping Springs. Well, that was intense. That was exciting. And y'all see Ted Nugent get up there and rock out the guitar. Holy moly. This gentleman here, he's a political prisoner. He's a congressional candidate for the District 19 in Lubbock, Texas. We got any folks from Lubbock? Kind of over there, West Texas? Tell your friends about him. He's an American First candidate with strong Christian values. That's true, I can vouch. You got your Bible? Yeah, he does. He's also a J6 defendant who chose to stand up for American families against corruption. He's battling. You know, he got down here to Quemado. Did I say that right this time? Quemado. And his phone said, welcome to Mexico. He's like, I better let everybody know I'm not in Mexico. That's what they do. I mean, it's unbelievable what these folks have been through just for going to a peaceful assembly. Get baited and all that. Ryan Zink is his name. Please help me welcome congressional candidate Ryan Zink. District 19, Lubbock, Texas.
Hello, everyone. I brought my Bible with me. I'll get to the reason why here in a minute, but I wanted to open with a verse. We're going to be in Isaiah 41, verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will help you, and I will hold you with my righteous hand. So I am Ryan Zink. I am a congressional candidate out of Lubbock, Texas. I am a January 6th defendant, guns up. On January 6, 2021, I was a journalist working for my father in his congressional race out of Phoenix, Arizona for Maricopa
right near the
County, and
border
I think
there.
we've heard that name a time or two before. I was never a political person. I never even
Interesting
voted
scene
until
with all those
the
rocks
first time
and
that
boulders there.
Hillary and Trump faced off, because politics never interested me. I just thought, what kind of woman would stay with a man like that? And I made my choice.
Looks like desert.
Getting to January 6th, I was out of school on workman's comp. I got hit by a drunk driver, and I'd messed my neck up and my shoulder up pretty bad.
Those are people
I went
coming
out to my
into the
dad's
U.S.
to go get some treatment from a lapse in insurance, and he wanted to go to the
Maybe waiting
Capitol.
for a
And
pickup
I
or
was like,
something.
"You have fun." And
Maybe.
so he finally convinced me and talked me into it. And he was like, "Hey, you're majoring in media strategies. Help me run my campaign."
I'm not
and I
sure.
was like, I don't like politics.
What
I
side
don't
of the
like
border
politicians.
that
And
Anthony is actually
so
on there?
eventually, he talks me into it. I decided to go up to the Capitol with him. And
But that's what he's
when we
doing
get
up there
there,
on the top-
everything starts
top left
happening.
there.
And we get our way over to the East Porch. And United States Capitol Police Officer Benjamin Fluke is being attacked with a couple of other members. And I see some of the more rowdier rioters. And I approach them and I say, leave them alone. They're just doing their jobs. He's breaking the law. That's not why we're here. Just like what the media says about why we're gathered here today. We're gathered in Jesus' name to pray for our country. So do not be afraid of gathering. So I asked this police officer, how can I help you? And he tells me and he instructs me to stay up on the East Porch and take pictures of those that assaulted them. And I did the duty that he gave me faithfully. 1 week goes by. 2 weeks goes by. 3 weeks goes by. 4 weeks go by. February 4th at 4:18 a.m., I'm taken into custody and I'm charged. I spent the last 3 years of my life fighting against a corrupt DOJ and the Biden administration, using the FBI as the long arm of the Biden administration for corruption. I'm now a felon. I have 2 misdemeanors. During my incarceration, I was poisoned. I was beaten. They sabotaged my drinking water. When I stepped into the gulag in Washington, D.C., I weighed 180 pounds. And for asking for a cell change because I had urine and feces on my floor that they would not fix the plumbing, I was taken out of my cell and put into another one. And from every day forward from that point, I had chemicals in my food. Bleach, Fabuloso, window cleaner. And then it wasn't enough. I reached out to my father and I told him that trying to kill me, you have to get me out of here. And I wish I hadn't said anything because it got worse. They took me out of my cell and allowed me to go to a lawyer call and to finally take a shower after 5 days. Every single day that I was in there, I asked for a Bible and they wouldn't give it to me, and it's why I carry it across the country. Because this is the word. This is the living word that I asked for, and our government denied this right to me, amongst all of the others. When they stuffed raw chicken into my water pipe, after telling my father that they were trying to kill me, I became violently ill. 180 pounds down to 130, and I looked out over that cemetery on the backside of the jail in D.C., and I said to myself that I will never, ever let this happen to another American family. That I will stand up, that I will stand in the gap to make sure that we have the right to freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and the freedom to worship the one true God above. Jesus Christ is the only candidate that we can get behind for 2024 that I can guarantee you will turn this country around. It does not matter who sits at the desk of the Oval Office. As long as Jesus Christ is on the throne, we have something that we can believe in. I reached out to over 65 congressional candidates. I reached out to over 65 congressmen in my journey before I went to trial, and none of them wanted to help me. The only 3 people that met with me, mine including, he met with me for an hour. His name's Jody Arrington. He's the House Budget Committee chairman. That our budget is disaster. $35 trillion in debt. I don't have to be a financial expert to tell you that if I have $4 and something costs $5, that I have to borrow one for him and I have to pay him 2 back, we probably shouldn't be doing it. We shouldn't be sending our money overseas to other countries. We should be focused right here on the border where Americans are sacrificing as our inflation goes through the roof because they will not shut this border down. Just like this border in the United States of America, there is one right way to get here. We have a process for immigration. We are a country of immigrants who have turned this country into the most beautiful and the best country in the world, with the biggest, baddest military that is out there on our planet, and we still don't do enough for our veterans. We don't do enough. But just like this border, there being one way here, there is one way to get to the kingdom of heaven, and that is through Jesus Christ. And that's why we have these assemblies. That's why the living word of God travels with me, because we do not need to fear. For as long as God is at the head of our nation, where I do not believe the Biden administration has put him, look at the police. That's why the living word of God travels with me, because we do not need to fear. For like each and every one of you that showed up here to stand behind Ken Paxton, to stand behind Governor Abbott, to stand for the state of Texas, because the border is not a Texas issue, it's an American issue. Do not be afraid. Gather, speak, have people in your homes. The lies of the COVID vaccine and the January 6th will eventually be overcome, because where there is darkness, there is light, and that light is Jesus Christ. And the corruption will be exposed. It is all going to come out. And Christ himself told us it's not going to be easy for us when we gather. When 2 or more are gathered in my name, I am also there. But he also says that those that gather in my name, those that speak for me, you will suffer. You will be persecuted. And that is where we are at right now. I believe that America can be fixed. I believe that if we put Jesus Christ and God the Father back into the White House, back into the halls of Congress, back into the Senate, back into the DOJ, and we get rid of all these unelected bureaucrats that are so-called experts that are running these 3-letter agencies, and we return the power back to the states, to the people, to you, to my equals. No politician that is out there is better than any other person that's here, yet we see time and time again, rules for thee, but not for me. You do not get that whenever you support my campaign. I am here to put the strength back into America, because the word of God comes with me, and my accountability starts with him and ends with you. Because you need to be holding your politicians accountable. You need to call their offices. Go to them and say, this is how I want you to vote, and when you don't do it, we're going to vote you out. Because if we lose our vote, we've lost everything. Communism is knocking on the door of the United States of America right this second.
Getting a little cloudy down there.
That is exactly
How's the
what is
weather
happening to our
forecast
country.
down
We are
there?
trying to be overturned by communism.
Was
And
completely
I
clear
will
earlier.
not allow it. I will stand in the gap for the American family because this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. When they will not represent us, that's the reason why we have the Constitution. We represent ourselves. The Constitution was not written to be a weapon against the people. It was written as a weapon for the people against their government, and it's high time that we start utilizing it. I cannot tell you how many times I have felt so alone in my journey of J6. How many times I have looked back and I have got on my knees and I have begged God, God, what do you want me to do? Who is going to help me in this fight? And on the day that he told me, I want to send you, I said, God, I'm here, send me. If you're looking for a representative who's going to take PAC money, who's going to go with lobbyists, I'm not your politician. Because I'm not a politician. I'm a country boy who had his entire life kicked out from underneath him for words. And these are the words that I believe in. Jesus Christ is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Do not be afraid. And America is the best country in the world. And if you will have me, if you will help me get to Washington, D.C., I will do everything I can to stop what happened to me from happening to you and to your children. My unborn son that's on his way into this world that I saw 3 days ago for the first time on a monitor, I've got to leave him a country to live in. Thank each and every one of you for coming out here today because I believe two things. That Jesus Christ is still moving in the United States of America and that it starts with us. Each and every single time that you step up, that you say, this ain't it, that's where we are. I'm Ryan Zink. I'm running for Congress in Congressional District 19. And I will stand in the gap for the American family. Come and see me at this Trump trailer right here. This was donated by the Amarillo GOP. This money that comes out here goes into the pockets of grassroots candidates who are not affiliated with the RNC because, face it, we're tired of them. It's time that the American people stand up. Come and meet me. Come and pray with me. I'll pray for you if you have something. If you want to know the Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, if you do not know him, come to that trailer. We can go and meet him together right now. I will take your hand and I will lead you into the kingdom so that you understand who Jesus is and what he's done for me. Come and let me tell you about my Jesus who held my hand in that jail cell. Thank you guys so much. God save America. Your vote counts. Make sure you're registered to vote. You can do it right there at my trailer. I've got the cards. We'll get them sent in. You still have time. Thank you, guys. God bless America. I love this country.
Oh, yeah. Look at you. Wow. Ryan Zink. Well, that's him.
Fire.
With the chicken water.
You know why that's fire?
I've heard that one before.
Okay, well,
hey, up in the corner, we've got Anthony Aguero, who's showing us a little bit of action there now on the border with some people that are trying to get across the border there. I'm not sure exactly where he is, what side of the border he's on there, but that's what the border actually looks like down there. Okay, let's see what's happening next.
Look it up. Do you realize where you're at? You realize where I brought you to? I'm bringing fire. I'm pouring out my fire upon my people right now. Right? Remember when John was baptizing people just under repentance? That wasn't for salvation, because plan of salvation hadn't been given yet. But he's just baptizing, getting people to turn to him. He said, "Hey, you need to believe on the one that comes after me, the one who's going to baptize you in fire, in power, and in fire." That's the fire. Fire's moving. Fire's already moving. Fire just came out of this gentleman. Fire been coming out of everybody. And we got some more fire coming out here. Hopefully it's not the kind of fire that this man has to engage in from time to time. This man led our convoy in. From Brackettville,
maybe
from Brackettville,
maybe this will get Congress to act. You know, get something rolling. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the answer. This is the start of looking into whatever the answer might be, I guess. You know, so.
That was amazing. We have an
If
escort.
it means doing what you're
now,
saying,
now
I
know
guess
who
that's
this
what
amazing
it
man
is.
He's a constitutional sheriff of Kenny County. Y'all know who that is? Sheriff Coe. United States Air Force veteran, 31 years at the border. Wow. This man came out here to greet all of us, and I believe he's got an amazing word. Please help me welcome Constitutional Sheriff of Kenny County, Sheriff Coe. Sheriff Brad Coe. Thank you, sir. Thank you for protecting our counties. Thank you for standing up for Texas.
Holy cow. I'll try to keep it as tight as I can. Okay. I need about 3 minutes. I want to thank y'all for being here. I'm not used to being up on a stage like this unless I'm with Jimi Hendrix. But while I was had time to sit back here and think about what I was going to say, after listening and getting some inspiration, there's two phrases that make up this whole country. If it wasn't for these two documents, or these two opening phrases, we wouldn't exist. The first one is, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. The second one is, we the people of the United States. We would not have our Constitution if we did not have the Bible. So those two, to me, those are two of the biggest documents that will ever exist. And we need to do everything we can to protect both of those. Like he said, I was with the Air Force. Don't hold that against me. I know some of you are Marine Corps, some Army. Navy, Coast Guard, but Air Force had its ups and downs. It's hard to eat steak with a plastic fork. But I was with the U.S. Border Patrol for 31 years, all stationed in Brackettville, Texas. Spent half my life there. When I retired, I thought, man, I am getting out of this immigration game. I'm going to go do whatever. And I got pushed into running for sheriff, and here I stand. This all started back in Kenny County in April of almost 3 years ago. Holy cow, time flies. We declared a state of emergency. Within 24 hours, we had a couple other counties join us. Then before long, we had up to 50. Got to meet with the governor, told him what our plan was. We're going to prosecute everything we catch for criminal trespass. The governor upped the ante. He gave me a place to put everybody in jail. Gave me about $2.5 million for personnel. And so far, we have prosecuted over 6,000 people for criminal trespass. We have prosecuted almost 3,500 human smugglers. So we're doing what we can to help. Groups like this coming down here to see firsthand what's going on is a huge, huge blessing. When senators come down, they give us 2 weeks notice. We're going to come look at the border. They have time to clean things up. Nothing gets seen. I had the privilege of speaking with a bunch of sheriffs in Oklahoma. Anybody here from Oklahoma? All right. You'll be proud of your sheriffs. They allowed me to speak. One of them said, why are you taking such an interest in Oklahoma? Well, I was born in Carter County, Oklahoma, so I got to do something to protect the motherland. They called me one night. They said, what are you doing tomorrow? I said, same thing I do every day, trying to figure out how I'm going to take over the world. Can we come down and visit with you tomorrow? Bring it. They came down. They got to see firsthand, no notice. Nothing was cleaned up. They got to see what's going on here in Eagle Pass. On the way back, I was taken to the airport. We helped DPS catch a group of 120, waited for transport. They got to see it all firsthand. And it wasn't just a couple of sheriffs. It was some of your state legislators also. There's about 6 or 8 of them. And we had a good time, and they took it back, and they were going to meet with the governor. And now the governor is helping our governor. So thank you, Oklahoma. We'll get into the politics about football later. So, but I want to thank y'all for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your daily life, out of your routine, to come down here and support what the governor is trying to do. Because but Biden and crew are going to do nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know, I've had face-to-faces with Mayorkas. Every word comes out of man's mouth is a lie. He would lie to you when the truth would sound better. So I am going to close up now. I want to thank y'all for being here. Thank you. God bless y'all. Have safe travels. And y'all are welcome back in this neck of the woods anytime. God bless y'all.
Thank you, Sheriff. Appreciate you.
Sheriff!
Have y'all ever had to protect your home from invaders? I haven't. I don't know what that would look like. I'm afraid to think about what that would look like. But you know God is a God of borders. He's a God of boundaries. I think he's a God of self-defense too. Not offense, defense, self-defense. Protecting our loved ones, our wives, our children, our home, our property. I know we're big advocates of that here in Texas. I don't know what they're like in Missouri. I think they, I don't know. We're going to hear about it. Y'all remember that St. Louis attorney? Who's been married 49 years, by the way, to his lovely wife, Patty, that defended their property and their home against Antifa? Remember that famous picture? Them standing out there like Bonnie and Clyde with their gun, just ready to, do what you got to do, right? They've been through it because of that. They have been dragged through it. But, once again, I think the enemy shot themselves in the foot. Now this man has a bigger voice than he's ever had. He's also the host of the Mark McCloskey on Fire on News Talk STL out of St. Louis, Missouri. Please help me, Mark McCloskey.
What? He's the guy with the gun that was warding off Antifa.
No. My people, they give me these notes.
Wow,
Okay.
I remember that story too. I remember seeing him too.
No,
with the
that's
gun.
fine, that's fine.
That's
My
what made
people,
him
they
famous.
give me these notes to use.
Interesting.
So I know what I'm supposed to say, and hang on one second. Go ahead. Oh, here it is. Hang on. Let me open this up. Wait a second. Wait, no, just a second, folks.
I wonder whatever happened to him with regards to that whole thing.
That's why son of a gun thinks he's president of the United States.
I think he was arrested.
I'm Mark McCloskey, and I'm not running for a darn thing. But I can tell you what, Jesus came knocking on my door, disguised as an angry mob, on June the 28th of 2020, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. But before we get into that, how many of us think we've got a right to be free? How many of us think we've got a right to defend ourselves? How many of us think we've got a right as individuals to have that freedom, even if it requires us to use deadly force to protect our home, our hearth, and our family? How many of us recognize that that's a right we have given to us by God as human beings made in the image of the Lord? How many of us believe that that which God gives us, no government can take away? All right, well, here's why you're seeing me up here. All right, now let me take off this coat. I had to do my Joe Biden joke, and he always wears a jacket, so. All right. I got to tell you a little bit of where I'm from. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri is the murder capital of the world. We're one of the most dangerous places you can possibly imagine. Those of you who live in the civilized world can't possibly imagine how bad it is. Bernie Kerik and Julie Rudiani spent a couple of days with us, and Bernie Kerik and I were comparing how dangerous St. Louis was compared to New York City. 8,400,000 citizens in New York City. By that time that year, they had 300 murders. Only 300,000 people live in the city of St. Louis, and we'd had 262 murders, 20 times the murder rate of New York City. And that's just the general background level of crime in St. Louis. You got to add to that the George Floyd effect, okay? On the night of June the 1st and June the 2nd in 2020, those forces that claim their moral superiority to us, those people that claim that they know more about how to be just and true and diverse and inclusive, decided the best way to show their love for St. Louis was by burning it down. And they set fire to downtown St. Louis. They shot 4 police officers. They killed retired police captain David Dorn. But the most important thing my wife and I saw was a 7-Eleven in downtown St. Louis, 2 blocks from police headquarters, from the time the first rock went through the windows and they looted it empty and they lit it on fire, and then the building becomes engulfed in flames and the roof comes in. 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes we watched it. You know how many police showed up? 0. You know how many firemen showed up? 0. We looked at each other, we said, when the fit hits the shan, you're out there and you're wild lonesome, and if you don't protect yourself, nobody's going to do it for you, okay? So, during the ensuing weeks,
more and more of the businesses in our neighborhood started getting broken into, windows smashed out, they're getting looted. And I'm going to keep it short here, but I'll give you lots of examples. Somebody looted the pharmacy around the corner from my office. They were in there for 6 hours, stealing everything they could steal, breaking everything they couldn't break, they couldn't steal. So I asked the owner, did the cops ever show up? He said, yeah, 10 hours after the alarm went off. Once again, when the fit hits the shan, you're out there and you're wild lonesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in St. Louis, we've got this Antifa organization run by a young lady whose name you may know. She's now a congressman, Cori Bush, and they advertised that they were going to have a mob action in my neighborhood on June the 28th of 2020. And knowing that they like to burn stuff, and there's all kinds of stuff in our house, including us, that we didn't want to have burned, we put fire extinguishers around the house. And since we knew they like to shoot people, I put guns all around the first floor of the house. And so my then 31-year-old daughter came in from Chicago, and we're sitting out in the patio barbecuing a pork loin, and all of a sudden we start hearing the crowd form down the street. And we hear the screams and the shouts and the hammering on the street with sticks and the same old dumb slogan, you know, whose streets are streets, no justice, no peace, no racist police. And the one I like the best, because it's Cori Bush's chant into her megaphone.
Who knew that
you can't
one
stop
day
the revolution. You can't
be
stop the
making fun.
revolution. Well, we stand up on the porch, and it's about this high. We're looking out there, and as far as we can see, the whole street, 100 feet wide, all the way down, we can see it, filled with people wall to wall, all screaming, chanting, marching. And the only thing separating that from us was this 138-year-old wrought iron gate. And Patty and I look at each other and say, gosh, I hope they don't break that gate open. Right then, the gate smashes down. They start pouring in the neighborhood, screaming and shouting. And I stepped to the corner of the porch. And I said the two most racist, white supremacist words in the English language. I said, private property. Now, being communists, that pissed them off, okay? And they start pouring in more and more and more. Well, I reached around the corner where I had my trusty AR-15 satch, pulled it out, stand up there in the porch, and hold it up, and I start saying mean, nasty things to these
communists
people.
are coming to take
get
over
out of my
private
neighborhood, private property.
Antifa.
I said a bad word once. I used the H word. Get the H out of my neighborhood. But I'm standing up there. I think I'm doing okay. I got 20 or so feet between me and a low hedge and a wall, then another 20 feet of grass to where the mob is. I think Patty's gone inside to call the cops. But of course, the cops have been ordered to stand down, so they were going to be useless. So, but when she's walking back towards the front of the house, she can see the people coming up the porch, and she knows I can't see from where I am. So she grabs this little pistol off the counter, goes outside, shows up in front of me on the grass, waving that dumb little Bryco pistol over her head, which she didn't know how to use and wouldn't have worked if she didn't know how to use it. But now I've got a problem because she's in my line of fire, right? She's between me and the mob. And so we'd been married at that time 36 years or so. I didn't want to accidentally put a pellet in her, so now I got to go out in the front yard too. And that's when you start seeing those famous photographs, all right? And I'll digress for 1 second. There's one picture where I'm leaning over like this, talking to her ear, and that's because there are two guys in body armor coming up the steps and they're armed. And the one guy reaches into his ammo pouches, pulls out 2 loaded magazines, points them at me and says, "You're next." I lean over to Patty and I say, if those guys come any closer, I'm going to have to kill them. And she leans over to me and she says, "You're not killing anybody tonight." The voice of reason. But we held them off. A crowd as big as this, there's 350 to 500 people, the FBI says. A crowd as big as this, all screaming and shouting, "Murder, rape and murder your wife. I'm going to take that pistol and shove it up you. You know what? I'm going to burn down your house, burn down your office building, even kill my dog." But 2 of us, with 2 guns, held off a mob of hundreds, and we backed them down. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason for the Second Amendment. That is the power of the Second Amendment. 2 people who are not afraid to stand up for themselves and demonstrate their willingness to exercise their Second Amendment rights. It can cure a big problem. That's the story you heard. I'm going to tell you the part you didn't hear, because the media didn't carry it, because it wasn't narrative, right? Because we had a client of ours that was an indoctrinated member of this Antifa organization. She called us up Tuesday morning and said that what we had done was inexcusable and we had to die. And they were coming back on Friday en masse to kill us and burn down our house. Well, needless to say, we were a little concerned. We had the house boarded up. I had my office boarded up. None of the cops that I normally hired for secondary employment would do the job because they're afraid of the bad press. We got referred to this entity in rural Missouri called Asymmetric Response. They do worldwide security all over the place. A bunch of special forces guys.
Well, the big story was, I recall,
they refused to do it.
him being stormed. He was stormed by Antifa, and the whole
if I were you, I'd
crowd
take what
there.
I couldn't live without, put it in the vehicles
exactly why
and
they were
abandon the house.
rioting.
I said, no effing way in heck I'm going to do that. We'll go down to the ship if we have to, but we're not going to abandon the house of the mob.
But there was a mob that definitely attacked his residence there. I recall that. He was out there with a gun.
White House. And the gentleman said, the president wants to express his support. If there's ever anything we can do for you, let us know, okay? So now it's Friday evening. We anticipate dying the next day. We don't have any help. Our 31-year-old daughter went down to the basement, picked out her favorite stuffed animal when she was a little kid.
Well, put it this way.
Gave us each
he did not approach Antifa.
She couldn't take it emotionally.
He did not go towards Antifa. He's there on his property,
number at the White House,
right,
and I said,
defending his property.
You remember
Luckily,
when you
nobody
said
was
that if
killed.
I ever
That's
needed
all I
any
can
help
say.
to give you a holler? Well, now's a
And
pretty
it's too
stinking
bad that
good
a guy
time,
has
okay?
to have a gun
And so he gave me
standing on
Mark
his,
Meadows' cell phone number. And I called up
front
Mark
yard
Meadows. The second call I
to
made was
make
to
sure
Tucker
that a
Carlson.
mob doesn't,
And Tucker put us live on the air. And so I'm talking to Mark McCloskey. I can hear Mrs. McCloskey sobbing in the background. The mob's coming back tomorrow to kill him. And if we don't do something, they're going to die. The police have been ordered to stand down. The state's not going to give them any help. To make a long story short, by the time the mob, now numbering 1,000, hit the fence that next night, we had 6 ex-Navy SEALs. We had 10 secondary employment cops. We had the FBI light aircraft circling the house. We had what we used to call in the Reagan administration, holy superior firepower. And we held them all off. Once again, 2 things I always like to talk about from that night. At about 2:30 in the morning, Jim, one of the Navy SEALs that was my guard that night, even though Patty and I made a big point of being out and visible so they can see that they didn't intimidate us, he knocks me down. I said, Jim, what the heck's going on? He said, well, we were scoping the surrounding high-rises, and we saw somebody scoping you back. We figured you're about to get taken out. Right then his radio goes off, and turns out it's the FBI doing cover for us. So that's the good news. The other one is, right when the mob first hits the gate, here's Cori Bush, the stupidest human being in the United States Congress. You know, every time she opens her mouth, we get 100,000 more Republican voters. So I really like her. But she's chanting into her megaphone, you can't stop the revolution, you can't stop the revolution.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jim, the SEAL, rested his hands in the butt of his M4 and said,
ridiculous
oh, yes, I can.
BLM things, like Trudeau, too.
Once again,
I wonder if Trudeau can't stop the revolution when he was bending the knee there
every time,
for BLM.
A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Without the Second Amendment, all the rest of our rights are merely hypothetical. I'm going to be as brief as I can in my political speech because, like I said, I'm not running for a darn thing right now. But I'll say this. The forces out there that want to destroy our republic are not doing it because they're stupid. They're not doing it because they're arrogant. They're not doing it because of money. They're doing it because they are really, genuinely the forces of evil. They hate our republic. They hate our freedom. They hate self-determination. They hate everything that made this the greatest planet, the greatest nation on the planet. They hate everything that we love, and they are genuinely evil. And ladies and gentlemen, the devil is real. Evil is real, but Jesus Christ will prevail in the end. But you know, the Lord helps them that helps themselves, and we've got to start doing it right.
But the rest of us,
now. I mean, everything, I'll do one more thing that I do every time, and that's that phrase from the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
You're blocked when you don't see your comments,
rights,
but don't comment bad words because they don't get published.
Deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. And ladies and gentlemen, that's us. So whenever any bad thing happens in D.C., when the government rolls out a pandemic to kill 1 million Americans, when they roll out vaccines to poison the rest of us, when they declare a Ministry of Truth, the Disinformation Governance Board, when they do any of these unconstitutional things to strip us of our God-given rights, do you know why they're allowed to happen? Because the people consent to it. Because we sit on our rear ends and we bitch and we moan, pardon my language, but we don't do anything substantial about it. Everything that happens in this country happens because we, the people, consent to it, and we, the people, need to stop consenting. Things like this, peaceful, civil disobedience, saying we will not tolerate this anymore, is the only way we're going to solve this problem. How many people think that there's a political solution to this problem today? How many think we can vote the evil away? We cannot do it. The only way we're going to do it is each and every one of us needs to stand up and make a personal claim for freedom, make a personal declaration of the rest of our lives. That July 4th morning, when we survived the second attack on our house, Patty and I got up at about 4:30 when we get the all clear, rolled out a big American flag off the front of the house, took a picture of us standing in front of it, took a vow to God that we were going to do everything we could for the rest of our lives to save this nation, to pull back our freedoms, to restore this republic. And each and every one of us needs to make that vow today. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot go forward with this government. I mean, think about the border, okay? That's why I'm here today. 2 years ago, Patty and I started coming down to border inspections down here when I was running for U.S. Senate. We watched children being deported
the guy with the gun with Antifa, what's his name right here?
Of the federal government. I stood in Roma, Texas, and I watched our soldiers
we had Ryan Zink
signaling to the cartels on the other side of the river, tell them it's time to start bringing these kids over, bringing them over by the boatload, lining them up in columns and rows and putting them on buses, because our government already knew how many kids they were going to transport that night and where they were going to take them. We talked to a 9-year-old kid from Guatemala, a 9-year-old little girl. We said, where are you going in the United States? She said, New Haven, Connecticut. Mind you, she got off a rubber raft 5 minutes before. I don't think she was going to go to Yale, okay?
Thanks a lot for watching.
These people are evil. They're pedophiles. They're monsters. They run our government. They hate us. They think they know better than us how to spend our money, how better than us to think for us, how better than us to control us. And why? Because this is all the culmination in their minds of a century-old progress towards what? A single world socialist government, that great reset, the new world order, that thing that Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum says, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. And that's our future. If each and every one of us doesn't stand up right now and say we will be a free people, we'll be proud of our culture, we'll be proud of our heritage, we'll be proud of our religion, we'll be proud to be a free people to stand up and say, no, we will not take this anymore. We will not take unconstitutional mandates. We'll be people that are proud to kneel when we pray and stand for the American flag. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, brother. You sound like a Texan. Are you sure you're not from Texas?
I lived here for 8 years. Went to any Mustangs in the audience? Law school and undergrad in Dallas. My wife and I, the first thing we did on the Trump campaign was come down to North Dallas and do a swing through with Colonel Allen West. And we were talking to a barbecue joint, 450 people in the hot Texas sun in July. And Patty starts off her presentation with, in all the places I've ever lived in the world, the only place I really felt at home was in Texas. And the whole audience was in tears. But I mean it, she meant it. We're proud to be here.
Proud to be here. Yes, we're proud that you are here with us, you and your lovely wife. Do you have the castle wall in Missouri
or the
like they do here in Texas? Do you have a castle wall in Missouri? Is their vehicle an extension of their castle like it is here in Texas? If not, they need it. Thank you, brother. Thank you for coming up and sharing, standing for truth, being a warrior. We got more warriors in the house. We've got so many more. Did you know women can be warriors too? Absolutely. Absolutely can. Absolutely can. And are. In fact, they're some of the strongest fighters. If we didn't have our women fighting with us, supporting us, doing what they've been called to do, us guys would mess it all up. we need our ladies.
Got it. Okay.
We need our moms.
The last
we need our wives. We need our
speaker
support.
was
I want y'all to hear from one of them
McCloskey.
right here. And I'm going to let Donica Hudson introduce this lovely lady from Moms for America.
Thank you, Robert. How many of you have heard of Moms for America? Yeah. How many of you love your mom? Huh? Yeah, moms are the backbone, I think, too, of this nation. So it's my pleasure to introduce Allie Legg. And she is a warrior. In fact, she's an Army veteran. Yeah. That's right. And, you know, my good friend Kimberly Fletcher founded Moms for America, and she sure picked a winner with Allie. I mean, Allie's impressive. Her title is now, what is your title? Come up here, honey. Tell me your title.
I'm the Civic Engagement Director with Moms for America.
She's amazing. Okay, she is a force to be reckoned with. She is defined by her unwavering commitment to freedom, civic activism, and a staunch dedication to America First principles. How about that? Yeah. She brings a disciplined and principled approach to her endeavors instilled through her service to the nation as an Army vet. Allie's passion to safeguarding liberty and empowering citizens led her to establish Moms for Freedom, an organization that stands as a bulwark against governmental overreach. Now, I'll say, we definitely need that, right, sister? Exactly. Allie's passion for safeguarding liberty and empowering citizens led her to establish Moms for Freedom, and then she is now in the role, as we just said, as Director for District School Engagement at Moms for America, which is a nationwide organization. How many women?
Over 500,000 across the nation.
Let me
Did y'all hear
take
that?
a look at that.
500,000 women. Can you say get out the mom vote? Can you say moms taking their families back, taking this country back? That's Allie. All right, so Allie, I know I don't have to read it, but you know what? I was like, as I was reading this chick has done a lot for our country. And she is a warrior both in the spirit and literally has been for our country. Give it up for Allie Legg, Moms for America.
Hi, Texas. So I'm a fellow Texan. I was actually born in Fort Hood. So I feel like I'm back home. I currently live in Florida, Tampa Bay area, free state of Florida, which is what we like to call it. But I am here, and I want to give you a little bit of background, a little bit of history of me. So my husband and I have been married for 13 years. We have 5 beautiful children together, and they are the reason why I do what I do. In about, I believe I was politically active in, I want to say maybe 2015 when California lost its mind. I mean, California's been kind of lost for a while. But there was a senator that was trying to push forward a bill that was going to strip away medical exemptions for vaccinations. So parents couldn't make decisions for their children, the government was going to. And I kind of, that pricked my little, I like to say my patriot spider senses went off a little bit. And I started doing a little more research about that. And there was a senator in Florida trying to do the same exact
Callahan
thing.
one.
So what does a mom do? She calls all her mom friends and says, hey, listen, this is about to go down. We need to rally together and figure out how we can kill this bill. Mind you, there were 8 other bills that were aiming to strip away parental rights that year. So what did we do? We rallied together, we made phone calls, we petitioned our government by having meetings with them, we built relationships with them so that we had relational equity, because politicians care about what? 2 things. They care about being reelected, holding that false perception of power that they think they have because we've given it to them, being complacent, right? And they care about money, their donors, their corporate donors. And so the only way to really be politically relevant, right, or to be politically respected is to be politically relevant. So that's what we did. We built those relationships, and we killed 8 of those 8 bills that year. In 2020, thank you all so much. In 2020, when the world lost its mind, and our government specifically was telling people who was essential and who wasn't essential, mind you, by the way, our government cannot tell you that you can and cannot go to work. If you put money on your table, you put food on your table, with the money that you earn, you are an essential worker, period. And the government does not have the authority over you to tell you what you can and can't wear and what you can and cannot inject in your body. So we developed Moms for Freedom, and we held a reopened Tampa rally because despite what others like to tell you, Florida was shut down. I had friends of mine that were arrested on beaches. And so we held a reopened Tampa rally, and we had 500 people show up because of moms. It was a last minute thing. We all got together and called our friends. And we made international news that day. We also looked at each other and said, oh my God, elections are this year. What are we gonna do? So what did we do? We put out a questionnaire to all of our candidates, and every single candidate that responded to us were only Republicans. Last time I checked, Democrats and Republicans both took the same oath that I've taken, and many of our veterans in this house have taken, to support and defend our Constitution, which is the law of the land, right? Well, when they decide to overreach, they are breaking that contract. We give consent to be governed, and if we are not consenting, right, they're overreaching. So we ended up bringing all our candidates to my friend's house, and we held a candidate forum, and our moms that supported those candidates went out with their baby strollers, stroller pushing, baby wearing, right, campaigning for these people that supported constitutional principles. Everybody won their primary, only 2 lost their general in that election. That is the power of moms, right? And so fast forward to 2022, I decided to run for school board. Why? Because I have children.
This feed that we're looking at,
they decided to remote learn our children.
right here,
my son was told that the Constitution could be suspended under emergency rule.
Trucking with Callahan, coming in from Yuma. So this feed is from Yuma. Hey, looks like interesting people here. Hang on, let's give a quick listen over here in Yuma.
So,
to find that channel and put it into chat, and let's get him some more subs, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you.
This is Trucking with Callahan. So he's giving us a little bit of a look at what's happening down in Yuma right now. Kind of looks like they're getting things together. A little windy down there, pretty clear. But we'll be keeping an eye on that.
Culture that doesn't fit or align with America into the hearts and the minds of our children. So I decided to run for school board. I was the first school board candidate to ever be endorsed by a sitting governor in the history of American politics. Wow. Thank you. That's because I stand 10 toes down on principles, right? I saw the problem and I found a solution, and I acted civically. My civic duty.